Now we're going to record or stream live to our custom streaming software. So hopefully this is working, because I did a whole new thing, a whole new software connect. So if this doesn't connect, I did something wrong, and I'll probably need to do a new stream key or something. But it does say that's trying to connect to the streaming software.
It does say we're streaming custom live streaming service.
Yeah, it looks
not showing.
There
yet.
we go. All right. Boom. I see it. Well, I see us here. Why do I not see it up over here on this one? Do you guys see?
Mine says we're live and recording.
Oh, I see. We got to go live. Oh, I see what I did. I forgot to hit the auto start and the auto stop thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I said,
there it goes. There it goes.
Yeah, like I said, I totally redid this whole thing.
Oh, I see.
There you go. Now you're getting commercials.
All right, good deal. We're good then. All right, so we are live. Yay! Tonight we're going to be talking about trikes and light trikes. We got a lot of people here, and I think that I hear some noise that might be
Jim.
Is it Jim? Is he
Probably because he's driving.
He's driving.
Hey Jim, I'm going to mute you, buddy. So I muted it. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and all right, we are live. Yay. Hello everyone, my name is Sean Simons. Welcome to ClearPropTV. This is episode 157, season 4 years of doing this, and here we are with a big panel. We got a lot of people here. We're gonna be talking about trikes and light trikes, because hey, that's the rave, right? Everyone loves to trike now. We got Brooke Sheffield. He is going to be talking about his dealing with trikes. And we also got Doug Martin in the house, and myself too. We got some trikes here we're going to be talking about. But let's go ahead and say hello to everybody real quick. We got Paramount USA. She does have her pom-poms. Where's your pom-poms? All right, there you go. And you're on mute if you want to say something. She goes,
sorry,
no.
I do that every time. Well, I never know which order you're going to go in, so I just wait patiently for my name. But hello, everybody. Yes, welcome to Monday night. It's Monday night. Got the pom-poms. It's going to be a big, huge night because we got Brooke in the house. It's really exciting. So you guys all have to stay here, stay in the chat. We've got so much to talk about tonight. Trikes and more trikes.
Yeah, and that's right. You were on a trike, so you can even talk about your trike thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I get to talk about it again.
See the smile on her face. She loves trikes also. So we'll definitely
I can't wait till May.
We're going to be definitely talking about your trike tandem, which was fun for you. We also got Will Fly from Will Fly PPG. I hear a little something in the background. Do you guys hear that or no?
A little bit.
Maybe a little bit. I don't know what it is.
Is it Will's fan club?
It must be Will Fan Club. So Will Fly from Will Fly PPG, welcome, buddy.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, I think you do that on purpose. You mix the order up to keep us kind of on our toes, and so we don't get comfy.
Oh, definitely not. And the thing is too, when we got on here, I just go from left to right down the thing, so everybody just pops in the windows here a little bit different. So Will Fly, you haven't done trikes at all?
I've never done a trike. I am interested to the extent I'd, maybe be interested in a retractor trike and give that a try, kind of dip my toe in the water, but I'm not ready to give up foot launch yet. I still love it.
Not talking about giving up at all, Brooke.
I know, but I'm afraid I'm going to like it, and then I'm not going to want to go back.
like Brian Waller, right? Brian Waller got that retractor trike, and he never unbolts that darn thing anymore. He just flies with that trike.
Yeah, it's all over once I get that trike. I know it is.
It's fun. I think, me personally, I like the trike because you can foot launch in the morning, and then midday if it's too windy, you can put on your trike, and now you're driving around on a little 3-wheeler. How fun is that, right? So
I admit it's got the cool factor.
It does. It really does. We also got Scuba Steve in the house. What's up, Mr. Scuba Steve? As you're taking a drink.
How you doing?
I caught that perfectly, didn't I?
I know. Yeah, I was just about. Oh, you stopped me.
What's up, Scuba Steve? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. It's going to be fun tonight. We get to talk about trikes and the mini trikes that you have over there, besides what Brooke has, and we'll just have to see.
That's going to be really fun. So you're going to be in the background and asking questions like you normally do. We definitely appreciate you. We're also going to be doing the spinning wheel winning things. You want to make sure that you do that, Mr. Will? Excellent. Thank you very much. And we also got Ryan. Ryan Rides in the house. What's up, buddy? Haven't seen you in a minute.
How's it going, guys? Yeah, I was down in Florida doing some drone flights, doing some sales. So just trying to get business booming for us.
We definitely need to work with you again, have you as a guest, because your drone things are amazing. If you guys don't know, Ryan has, hundreds of different drones that are all connected. They go up and they do things all together. It's just absolutely amazing. So we're going to have to come back with you and get you on the show again.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. We also got Doug Martin in the house. Man, yeah, I think you've been here like almost every single year. How you doing, buddy?
Good, buddy. How are you doing?
Absolutely amazing. I saw your post on Facebook about your trike. So
Oh, yeah, I've got more than my share of experience and lots of different light trikes. So
absolutely.
yeah, I've ended up with another one from a buddy on a Blackhawk frame, and then I got the one I just built also. And I love my light trike. So
Yes.
whatever's for.
And I'm glad that we said light trike and trike buggies. There's so many different terminologies. We definitely need to talk more about that. We also got Brooke Shuffle in the house, also known as PPG Pirate. Why is he always mad? Because he just And you run a school and you mostly do trikes and stuff too down there, right, Brooke?
We do full foot launch and trikes. We've just recently expanded our offerings and we're now doing tandem certifications. But yeah, we do a little bit of all of it. We believe that foot launch is awesome, but to really be accessible to people of all ages and all capabilities, you've got to bring those wheels in. So we do it all.
I like that. Bring the wheels in like a retractor trike. That's pretty awesome. All right. So guys, tonight we're going to be just talking about trikes. It looks like we got a question already, Will. Do you want to go ahead and ask that?
Yeah, Matt Sloper, he wants to know if you can launch a trike in 6 to 10 mile per hour winds.
100%.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, no problem.
So okay, so you're actually, the limit is greater, right, with the trike than it would be foot launch, or
No,
what's the difference?
No.
there's a lot of differences there. And there's really not one answer that fits the bill, because we have to look at each situation. We have to look at the equipment that's being used. Because let's say you've got a 10-mile-an-hour wind and you've got a light trike with 2 light passengers and you've got a 42-meter wing. That could be challenging because as the wing comes up, there could be a lot of drag and there might not be enough weight underneath to basically allow that wing to stay under control. But at the same time, you could take the same conditions, roll out a heavy trike that weighs 250 pounds, put 2 200-pound guys in it, and you could pull a 42-meter wing up with no problem and no threat of rollover or turtle at all. So it has to do with skill set. It has to do with conditions. It has to do with equipment, overall weight. But ultimately, the trike can basically do almost anything that the foot launch can do. I do think there is a cutoff to where some trikes just can never access that reverse launch that's necessary for extremely high wind. But you say it can't be done, and I'm sure there's a pilot out there that can figure it out.
Yeah, well, we'll try.
Absolutely. And the thing is, you can with a light trike, and when we talk about the light trikes, what we're talking about are these type of trikes here that just come together and bolt onto your regular thing. Like this right here is a Kangoo. It's a trike right here. We got the retractor trike right here that actually retracts and stuff like that. And these are really super light. They're only like maybe 20, 30 pounds, at the max. And they're nice and tight, which means that if you want to do a reverse, you clip in, you do a reverse, and now you just stand up, turn your thing around, or you can even go give some gas and actually turn around and go into the wind. So I mean, the light trikes are amazing. You can't do that with, I don't know, Brooke, can you do that with the big heavy trikes? Do a reverse? Or you have to
it's not something that I'm trying. It's not something that I'm really recommending. I believe that there's just a higher risk of rollover and equipment damage. And for me, when that trike costs $20,000+, the juice just isn't worth the squeeze.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you're saying that with a big 250-pound trike that's designed for tandems, or just, even solo. I mean, you got those big ones out there that even if you have a high wind, what's the maximum wind that you would actually try to launch when those 250-pound big trikes in?
So I spent a lot of time doing high wind launching down in Lake Wales, Florida, because we don't get a lot of high winds here in the mountains, but when we do, it's just not flyable for rotor. So when I was down in Lake Wales, right around 9 or 10 miles an hour was my cutoff, and I'm 220. My machine is over 270, and my passengers were around 200, and I still felt like I wouldn't want to take much more. So about 10 miles an hour is my cutoff. If it's gusting any more than that, I'm probably not going to do it.
I definitely agree. I'm pretty much the same way. It's like if I can't foot launch in that wind, I'm definitely not going to trike in the wind. Actually, the trike I think is more fun when you have nil wind in the morning, because it's hard to do a forward inflation with a foot launch sometimes. Doug, you do a lot of triking. You've been doing triking for a couple of years. You also got your tandem, right? Your tandem exemption, and you've been taking people up. What kind of trikes do you have, and what are your wind, I guess, window that you would fly in?
Realistically, 8 to 10 is probably my limit. If it's gusting more than 12, I'm staying on the ground. If I'm launching into the wind, then if I have to do a forward launch, probably 6 to 8 miles an hour. If I do a reverse launch, maybe 10, 12 mile an hour. The big trike and the big wing, I probably won't fly that if we have more than 8 mile an hour. But the big trike is a Zenith Cosmos, and then I've got a retractor trike, and then I've got a light trike that I built, and I've got a Blackhawk light trike in the barn that I haven't had a chance to fly yet.
Excellent. So what do you think about the big tandem trikes that you fly? Does that feel nice and sturdy and solid, and you have no problems with the big tandems?
I really do like my big tandem trike. If I'm flying a tandem passenger, the wing is so much bigger. You really have to plan ahead and be careful. And you have a passenger, you have to be careful. So my wind tolerance is a little bit wider, just myself. But yeah, the big trikes they're kind of planted to the ground. As long as you can, keep it sort of into the wind, you're fine.
Okay. Yeah, my favorite so far are just a light trike. So what's the difference between a light trike, just a full trike? Okay, so a light trike is when you normally have your foot launch paramotor that bolts onto a light trike. Is that what you think, guys?
I would think so. I'd say any trike under about 30 pounds kind of
Okay.
works out to be that way.
There are definitely some trikes out there that you can put a foot launch paramotor on that are not light trikes. For instance, the Flash Cruiser and the Kite Buggy. But yeah, I would agree. Typically, if you can attach a paramotor to it, it's in the lightest category.
Yeah, it's kind of a harness. If the paramotor has a harness and you take it off your foot launch unit to put it on the back, that's not really a light trike anymore. If you're using your harness and your main rig, yeah, I can see that. So
Okay. So for those of you that don't understand or may not know what Doug was just talking about, there are some trikes that actually come with roll bars, and they come with a seat, and you put your paramotor on your motor itself, but you got to take off that particular harness to connect it to it. So I like to kind of figure out what this terminology is, so light trike is something you bolt on that's about 30 pounds or under that you use your same harness on. And then the ones that we just talked about, like the bigger ones that you'd put on the back of one that already has a cage and already has, the roll bar and a harness. What would we call those?
I call them conversion trikes because the foot launch is converting to the trike. So I just call them conversions.
That would sound realistic.
Okay. And then the regular main trikes that are just fully 100% trikes all the time. Nothing comes off. It's all one piece. What do we call those? Do we call those paratrikes or
I call them dedicated trikes.
dedicated trikes?
I just
And
call it
typically
a-
I call that a dedicated fixed hang point trike.
yeah, I would say a
But
big
that's just
hang
what I
point,
say.
but I call it Big Ben, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, if it's got a fixed high hang point and fixed in harnesses, then yeah, you're dealing with a large trike.
Okay. So because there are so many different terminology, and what's a trike buggy? What is that considered? Is that considered like a full-size trike to you guys?
I would
Trike
kind of
buggy
think
or
that
the
it's
kite
a
buggy?
light trike.
What's that?
Which one are you talking about?
If like there's different terminology out there. You've heard light trike, bolt-on trikes, dedicated trikes, the big trikes. I mean, what are they, where do they go from light to medium, or what do you call these different types of trikes out there? Because there's so many different types of terminology, So a light trike, is that different from a medium trike that's connected to a bolt trike, or maybe, a retractor trike? You hear so many different things. So what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of people out there that are into just trikes. They have no idea, or they've never flown a light trike that you can bolt onto a free flight, or not a free flight, but a foot launch. And then
And
you
they've got those too.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's so many different terminology. So I guess what I'm asking is, you guys in the super chat, what do you call these different types of trikes? You got that light trike. There's a medium trike that you bolt on your foot launch, but you take off the harness because this one already has a harness. Then you got your full big setups. What do you guys call them, or do you not care? I think we got a couple of questions in the super chat, Mr. Will.
What do you call them, or do you not care? Okay, so Matt Sloper is no, we already got that one. Let's see. Brian Franz is asking, has anyone flown a Flike? Looks cool but heavy. I don't
I have
think
not.
That's
Brooke?
one I have
Like-
not heard of.
I
Brooke?
haven't either.
No? Okay.
And then Bonnie Franz wants to know what trikes can take different paramotors. So yeah, so that's actually a good question. I mean, like the retracted trike, you can go on different paramotors, right? But it won't
Just
fit
a few.
all paramotors, does it?
Yeah,
Is
and you have a different mount plate for it.
Yeah.
Is a Flike one of those? Remember those? Well, I've seen a video. It's like a dune buggy with a fan on the back, and they took out. It looks like a really heavy car. Is that what the Flike is? I think.
I
Man,
don't know.
could
James
Is that like a
asked about
flying
something-
bike?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it sounds like a bicycle.
James asked about something that was really cool the other night. I don't know if that was on this show or not, but man, that thing was awesome, but it was extremely expensive. I don't know, maybe it was Parajet's version, but that was a quad, I think.
Oh, the flying car?
No, well, it was, I mean, if you said the name, I'd say, yeah, that's it.
Parajet makes a flying car. It's pretty cool.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's a dune buggy, and then it can take off and fly.
Okay, well, this thing looked like a dune buggy, but I don't think it was Parajet, and it was a different name.
I've seen those too, and they look really heavy, like they're not FAR 103. They're probably, a sport license, because they look like they're much heavier.
Yeah, maybe so.
Mhm.
The
I just
Parajet
looked-
one is a PPC technically.
I just looked up the Flike.
Yeah.
It's think motorcycle meets drone. It's got 3 different props, and there's like a motor, you sit on it like a motorcycle in the middle.
Oh, can you share that on the screen?
Uh,
Mm,
yeah,
Man,
give me a
given the
second.
number of drones I've crashed in my life, I don't know. That's not a good idea for me.
All those
Uh,
DJI, it's really difficult to crash some of those new ones now that have all those sensors.
There we go.
Oh, challenge accepted.
Oh,
Is this
there
what
we-
you're talking about?
Nope, that's not what I'm talking about. Hang on a second.
That's the Flike.
that is a Flake. Yeah,
Oh, that
okay.
is a Flake. See, I'm getting
Okay.
something different.
Can you zoom in on the actual trike thing there, Will, or does that not allow you to zoom in?
That doesn't do it, does it?
It
Nice.
definitely looks like they're just able to attach the regular
Interesting.
fresh breeze motor on the back.
Let's see what I can, yeah.
So this is one that, so this would be the middle type of trike that we were talking about, where you would have to put on a motor on the back. Can you show it again real quick?
Yeah, I'm gonna
That's
pull up.
that's a
Zoom view.
recumbent bike with a motor on the back. That's exactly
pretty
what
much.
that is.
Yeah,
Okay,
Now
so
it's-
there
Can
we
you
go.
see
That's
it?
nice.
That's
Oh,
kind of,
that's
that's
nice.
cool.
So that has the seat that's already, that I assume that seat is part of it, and then the motor itself, the paramotor part in the back, would bolt onto it.
You
So,
can pedal it. What the hell? It's got pedals in the front.
oh my God,
Yeah.
it does.
Well,
Does it?
yeah,
So-
there's pedals in the front.
Yeah, at the Highland
one is that?
fly-in, there was
Get up
one
to
of those.
speed.
So I wonder if that's something that you could actually, bike yourself down. Can you show the front end, Will? Can you zoom to that front end so we can see the pedals? Does that allow it to do that? No?
yeah, I'll make it happen here.
Okay.
Dude,
It's
the
not
thing
gonna
that
be
gets
real
me on that
quality.
design is the floating swing arms.
Now, I don't see pedals. Where are the pedals?
Yeah, right at the very top, or really.
Yeah,
far
you don't see, see the pedals, the chain, it runs down to
Yeah.
the wheel. I mean, it's got
Oh,
a
it
full.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's to like pedal yourself, when there's people around to get your trike someplace,
When the cops are looking, you pedal.
So at the Howland fly-in last summer, there was one very similar. I don't know if it's that one for sure, but it was just like that. It had a pedal set in the front, and he would just sit in the trike, pedal himself out into the field, set everything up, start everything up, and then fly from there. So man, it might not have been that brand, but I'm like, holy cow, that thing's got freaking pedals on it.
Well, you know that you can put those. You can get to a bicycle conversion kit to make it an e-bike, and it's just a hub that you put on the wheels. So there shouldn't be any reason why we can't put one of those hubs on one of these trikes to be able to, tool it around without the motor going.
I like that.
Yeah, we should be able to. I mean,
I-
and Doug, you make your own trikes?
I made the last one, and the electric motor is a good idea because, in all honesty, I'm one of those guys that just gets in his trike, goes down the driveway, goes down the road a mile to my landing, to my LZ, and prop spinning, neighbors are waving. But realistically, it would be a better idea to do that without the prop spinning. Probably
Yeah.
the campground would probably be a lot less upset when I drove through without a big cloud of dust behind me. But
Oh yeah, and also
Yeah.
maneuvering yourself to fly, like in a fly-in, and you got a bunch of people with their wings laid out. That would be really good to be able to.
yep, I like it.
Yeah. All right. Really interesting. So, Brooke, what'd you call those that are half and half?
That's kind of like a conversion trike where you can
Conversion
take your
trike.
foot launch unit and put it on the back.
Okay. So, light trike, conversion trike, and a full trike.
Dedicated trike.
Dedicated trike. There
Yeah.
we go.
I think the kite buggy is probably the only one I know in the US that you can put any foot launch unit on the back.
Which one?
Kite buggy.
Kite buggy.
They're also used for doing sand kiting, like riding these buggies in the desert with sand with boat with
Man, I wonder if that's what it is, Brooke. I'm gonna look that up. That might be what I'm talking about.
yeah, that's what you're
Oh.
talking. That's what the Lears have.
No, oh no, they got the trike buggy.
Trike buggy.
Okay. Okay. The one that I'm
Oh.
talking about, it's got like knobby wheels, and I mean, it looks like it's built for off-road.
Yeah, the trike buggy's really just a light trike. And you're right, it takes just about anything we want for a trike. But I think that's under 35 pounds also.
Oh no, it's way heavier than that.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
it's closer to, I want to say 75 or 80 pounds, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just rebuilt one for a student, put new axles on it. It's pretty heavy.
Maybe I'm thinking of something different, but
I'm
it
glad
really
that
wasn't
didn't
all
show
that
up
big
in
a
the
trike.
feed.
Maybe, yeah.
I've got a background
was something
blur
different.
on, so
What are you saying, Ryan?
I'm sorry.
Oh, he just muted himself.
Sorry, my girlfriend was talking to me.
Oh, okay.
At least she talks to you.
Ah, there you go. So just like we said earlier, in case you just jumped on, we have what, 40 people watching right now. So we are going to be doing the spinning wheel of winning things. So make sure that you tag Will Fly and say that you are here. If you are just listening, you might want to be on that spinning wheel of winning things. I mean, why not? You got a chance of winning something. That's the whole idea of, that's why we're on these shows, right? It's like nobody listens to us. We're like, we're not listening to you. We just want to see if we can win that spinning wheel. It looks like there's another, I can't read. I don't have my glasses. What does it say, Will?
Yeah, there's from Ad Sloper, and he's asking why, you know, the motorcycles that have the 2 wheels in the front, the 1 wheel in the back, why there aren't trikes like that. And I mean, I would think that would be kind of spooky on landing. That's why I
I
don't
would
like
think so,
quads
too.
so much. I mean,
Taking off and landing, you need 2 wheels on the back at least.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I can't. Brooke, Doug, what do you think about 1 wheel in the back and 2 in the front?
It's
Not
the same
even if I had
reason
to.
why you don't take off nose heavy.
Yeah.
So you need a wide wheelbase to create stability, because we all know that we don't always get it exactly perfect every time. And you would have to be perfect every time to every degree to make it work with 1 wheel. So
Yeah.
even the quads are, you know, I can see some benefit to quads, but a wide wheelbase is what I like to see. And I would say if you're considering a light trike that attaches to something easily, it's worth mentioning Parajet's new creation for the Maverick. They have a great trike that attaches to it, and the wheels reach out not only sideways pretty far, but they go back behind the motor. And you
Yep.
won't see that on the Retracta and the
Yep.
Calibri and a lot of these other simpler trikes. And I think Parajet has really nailed the stability and still kept a light trike design. So worth mentioning that new design that's out there.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Oh,
And also too, you know, before you bolt on your trike, you might want to do a hang check, because just like Brooke said, and Doug, you know, and me, when you take off, you want that nose to come up first, at least 11, 12 inches first, and then the wheels. That way, when you come down, your back wheels hit, and then the front, kind of like an airplane, you know? Can you
Yeah.
imagine an airplane having 1 wheel in the back and 2 in the front?
Well, that was one of
I
the
would-
one of the really scary things that I saw. That Black Hawk that I have in my shop, he bought that from a guy who shouldn't have been flying, should not have been flying it. The harness is mounted way too low on the frame itself, but the trike, the front supports are still in the box. So when you fly, the front of the trike drops down in front of you. How he landed that with that front wheel 3 feet below him, I have no idea. So it's kind of like the reverse trike. The idea of landing on that 1 wheel dead perfect and not being sideways, and then having the rear wheels touch down perfect, that's not real likely to happen a lot.
I agree. That's kind of different. That's kind of
so I'm interested because it seems like the quad would present a similar problem like on landing unless you nailed it just perfectly. You know,
that's correct.
Just
yeah,
spend more time
one
on
of
the
those
rear wheels.
ripping, huh?
That's correct. A quad could catch as you're coming down. If you don't catch it correctly and you hit 1 wheel first, that's where you can start having problems. That's why more people go to trikes than quads. Quads seem like they're stable, and that'd be great to do, to have like a little 4-wheel. If all you're going to do is tool around on the ground, quads are fun, right? But as soon as you start taking off and landing, you got to be really careful in that landing, because you hit that 1 wheel a little bit off center. That's
I mean,
why-
ideally, the rear axle is fixed, the front axle is floating, and it doesn't have a lot of stiffness in it. And if a proper trike set down would be the rear wheels first, the front nose after, and your feet aren't stiff, and that front end settles into its tracking line. You don't force it into it. It's just like when you watch a fixed wing airplane come in, it finds its ground position with the wheels as long as you put it in the right place.
Right.
It's super crucial to have a stable wing over your head. You can't have any oscillation at all, because that's where things get squirrely.
Yeah,
Exactly.
especially if you're dealing with a high hang point or something like that.
Yeah.
It gets really squirrely.
I'd say that's probably the biggest mistake you see trike pilots do, is this whole concept of just, it's like that powered parachute concept where they just cram it and go. And you see these guys doing the Kurt Fister takeoff where it's just all over the place. So I think that's the biggest thing that new trike pilots need to overcome is take off after you have a long, smooth taxi that's under control. You can do all your safety checks, and then you can hyper focus on the wing 80%, runway 20%, and then take off. But these guys that are just cramming it and leaving the ground and praying, it just scares the hell out of me.
You and me both. There needs to be a lot more, when it comes to students, a lot more triking, a lot more on the ground, a lot more taxiing with the wing above your head without even going. And while you're still on the ground, all you're doing is you can make figure eights, because once you start going, you can go into the wind, sideways with the wind. It doesn't make any bit of difference. You just got to give a little bit more gas as you're going with the wind.
Yeah.
But as long as you have that wing up there solid, you can stay on the ground all day long and do infinite on the ground.
And what's great about a tandem trike that I recently just realized this by working with One Up Adventures is that you can put a student in the front seat and you can inflate the wing, you can get into a taxi, and then if you've got a nice runway or a nice spot, you can get into a taxi, you've got good comms with your passenger, you can say, I'm passing you the controls. You can put them in a taxi, you've got the throttle, they're taxiing, you're talking them through everything, and then you take off, do a circuit, and land. And you can teach from the back seat better than you can from just the radio. And so you can run them from the back seat, then you put them in the back seat and you go to the front seat. And you can do this with a student over and over again until they can then go to the solo unit and prove those skills without kind of being thrown to the sharks by themselves and not having any exposure, but having you literally right next to them, like holding the controls and talking to them is way more personal than a radio from 50 yards away.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. That
No,
that sounds fun.
I had all my training up down at One Up also for my tandem. And that was the first time I ever realized I could fly from the front or the back seat. And not that I'm a trainer, but when I take passengers up, it's always fun handing the controls, let them fly. But that was the first time I realized from a training perspective what you could really do. I mean, you can control the throttle, you can do automatic A's if you want, you can make them bring the wing up, you can do it in steps. And that looked like a really, really good thing.
Yeah, I think it's an amazing program they have. And I think it's honestly probably the safest way to get people flying trike.
I believe that.
Absolutely. I had an awesome flight with Erik with Northern Lights Paramotors. And yeah, it just I liked it because he taxied, quite a ways down the field. That was really cool. That was kind of a rush actually. And then he, just took his time, got us up in the air, and it was an awesome experience. It really was. I was not scared at all. I was so excited. And once we got up there, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So he had the heavy trike, the heavier one.
Yeah, he has the Zenith as well with the Cosmos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, it was an awesome flight. Anybody that's never done it before, you got to do it. You got to do it just once. Because once you do it once, then you're going to want to do it again. It's like eating potato chips. You can't just eat one. So I
That
look
is
at
so
it
true.
that way. You
Yeah.
can't just take one tandem flight. I've been going crazy for months now, since May.
Well, I'm
so
kind of
I'm
thinking
ready.
it's like my high school drug dealer. The first one's free, gets you hooked, and then from there on out,
That's
and
right.
we'll find some time in the summer. I'll take you up.
Oh,
We'll find
I'm
North
looking forward to
Florida or
that.
one of those.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I met Doug in 2018 at the Holland Fly-In. So for the
Yep,
first
that
time
one is
over there.
scheduled too. So that one's
Okay.
scheduled for sometime in June, I think.
Yep. Cool. All right, guys, this is so fun. We're learning a lot tonight.
It is fun. It's really neat. I got, like I said, I got two different light trikes down here. I wanted to show you guys. So, this is the Kangook Light or basic trike right here, and then the wheels have these right here. Tell me if I'm out of frame. I can't really see over here. Actually,
No, you're good.
let me go to speaker view. That way I can see a little bit better. So these wheels right here are really far away like that. It's a really wide base for the Kangook. And then this retractor trike is a little bit different, but you can see how far the wheelbase is on this Kangook. It's really, really wide. The frame would fit up here like this, and then you'd sit right here. So it's really fun. This is the one that I have the Atom 80 on. It's great. And then we have this over here. This is a retractor trike, and one of the things that I found with the retractor trike is that the base, you have to specify what base that you have to put on here, because this is for the Sky Max, which is a little bit different than anything else. And then if you look at just a regular base, this would not fit. So you actually have to have something that would fit your base of your paramotor on this. Another thing too is that with the Kangook over here, like I just showed you, you have one wheel that fits there, the other wheel that fits there. With this, the retractor trike, your what do you call this right here?
Your axle.
Your axle?
Yes, that big word. Your
That big
axle.
word.
That big word, the axle. So with this one, you slide the axle through here. And you got this little button that you push, and then it connects like that. So now your axles are like that, and then your wheels are like this. I got the fat wheels instead of the skinny wheels. There's a little button that you push right here, and that releases the little clamp like that. So when you put this on, you just push the end of the wheel, and it clips in like so on both sides. So breaking this one down and putting it in the car actually seems like this would be a little bit easier to put this in the car than this one, because it actually breaks down a little bit different. So depending on what kind of frame you have, what kind of paramotor you have, you would definitely need to make sure the base would fit. Now I got one more light trike in the paramotor facility, and that's for my SkyTap Angel, because the frame, the base of it is so wide, it doesn't even fit on any of these over here. Have you guys had any issues as far as getting like a light trike that would fit a particular paramotor, Brooke or
Well,
Doug?
if you look at like here, as you can see behind me, there's the one I just built. I don't know if you can see it. There it is. But I based all that basically on a retractor trike. Took all the measurements from my retractor trike, just kind of duplicated it. I did the same thing with the wheels. So it's got the wheelchair pin style wheels and all that. I did that with the front forks. The front forks come apart real easy. But yeah, I love my light trike. This one weighs about 2 pounds more. I think it's gonna fly great. We'll find out. But yeah, the biggest difference, I'm sure we'll talk later. We'll talk about the difference in flying a light trike versus a fixed trike, because that's where the real difference comes in my world.
Brooke, I think you have saved my tail, man. That whole placard thing you were talking about. I know nobody in chat knows. We were talking about weights on wings, and you know there's an estimated weight range for your wings. So make sure before you buy the wing that you're going to use for your paramotor, that you fall into that weight range. Or if you plan on getting a trike, that you add that in so that you know you're still going to be within the weight range. You don't want to go way over your weight range. So from what I understand, you're saying I should be going by the DGAC rating, not the EN rating, right?
Correct.
Okay. So the EN rating shows a max for my wing of 238 pounds. I weigh more than that. So if you add my weight plus the 54 pounds plus gas in my paramotor, I'm way overweight. The DGAC rating is 293 pounds.
Yeah. I knew it was off because
difference.
you told me when you pulled the brakes, it didn't move.
Right.
And I was like, that's how that wing flies when it's properly loaded.
Okay. So yeah, I appreciate the, see, I was just going by the website. I didn't even think about looking at the placard, and that, yeah, that made all the
You're
difference.
not the only one. Don't worry.
All right. Thanks.
There's a couple of things that I'd like to pull up here, Sean. There were some recommendations. I need a couple minutes to set it up, though. I'm just letting you know some other trike information. But Brooke, yeah, that's important too, because I looked that same information up, and that's what I came up with the same number. So I could imagine, you know, two people have done it. It's like so obvious where the information is, but it's not the information you need. So yeah,
It can be confusing, especially because we're dealing with certifications that are outside of the US. They're not necessarily familiar to us. And the companies, I mean, let's be honest, not every paramotor company and every, you know, manufacturer puts out manuals and puts out all the stats and are easy to get to.
yeah, right.
How many of these light trikes have you got without any way of knowing how to put it together?
Every one of them.
Right. There's nothing that comes with it. There's no paper. There's no, hey, no QR code, go to the website type of thing. Now the Kangoo, believe it or not, I was very surprised. They actually send an actual thumb drive with all the manuals, how to put it together, with a picture. I mean, everything. I was like, wow, that's incredible.
I actually use that kind of standard as to who I'll do my business with now and who I won't. Now,
as far as what, having like a way of putting them together?
If I'm going to spend $8,000 on a paramotor and it doesn't have a manual, I'm going to go with the company who has an $8,500 manual. $8,500. Like go to Parajet's website. That's the definition of professionalism. It's the definition of expertise.
Yeah.
You can go to some websites and you can't even get a picture of the current model that the dealer is selling you. Not yet alone when you get it, it doesn't look like the picture on the website. There's no manual. You got to call that dealer over and over and over. And to me, that's gatekeeping.
Yeah,
that's how they keep you in their equipment group.
Yeah, but you have no way of knowing if you're 100% sure that you put it together correctly.
Exactly. But if you deal with, like, say, Fly Products, if you go onto their website, there's 100% schematics of every single part, every part number, where it goes, how much it costs. I mean, these are things used to fly and put our lives on the line. I want to deal with people who put out great equipment, and I want to know how it's put together correctly.
Yep.
Yeah. And
how many paramotors show up to your school and they're not put on correctly? The harness is weird. So, dude, it's got to be one of the most under-discussed things in our industry is the underlying safety concerns, because even the manufacturers don't even have a manual.
Well, the guy who built this Blackhawk's lucky he didn't die on it. So, I mean, it's so far out. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess it's one of those things too, and that's another reason why you don't want to get gear off of eBay and go try to learn to fly by yourself or learn to fly off of YouTube videos. It's not that you can't do it. You know, it's the equipment that you get, you don't know what you don't know to ask. So you may think that this thing's put together right, but maybe the hang points are for a right torque, but it's actually set up for left torque, which means that you're going to go up there and it's going to torque so hard you won't be able to correct it. And if you don't know how to hang check, you don't know, some basic things as far as harnesses. Harnesses go through your loop, both your loops, and then comes back through that third loop. You got to do it 3 times. If you don't, your harnesses could slide off. So there's a lot of things that you don't know, and that's why you need to get yourself an instructor that knows what they're doing, that is doing what you want to do. So, I mean, if you want to go to an instructor that maybe you want to trike, but they don't trike, you probably don't want to go to them. You want to go to someone that actually does what you want to do. And definitely look at the reputation too. Brooke, you've been doing your school now for what, 2-3 years?
Between 2 and 3 years. We're a pretty small school. I mean, I did 100 tandems in the last year. I mean, we fly a lot. We'd rather fly than train because flying is what we like to do.
Wow.
But yeah, that's what we do full time.
But I'm impressed. I got 24 tandems in the summer, and I thought I did good. So that's impressive.
All right, so it looks like we're looking at Flight Junkies. I did see this fly pod, and I did watch the video.
Oh God!
So, and I saw that it was on the news too, and they were just raving about it. But one of the things that you can do, you can put yourself on whatever trike that you have. There are conversion kits for your bike for e-bikes, so there shouldn't be any reason why you can't do the same thing for a trike, especially if you got the wheels like that. I like the big fat wheels personally. Okay, so you got the retractor trike, Doug, you said, right?
Yeah.
Do you have the fat wheels or the small wheels?
I've got the little ones, and I've only had the skinny ones burn me one time, and the big ones would have too. But you should never land in a cornfield that's freshly plowed. It just comes to a stop no matter what. So yeah, I would have lost either way. But yeah, I've actually landed on the beach and that sort of thing with no problem. So yeah, the little ones were fine.
Because I think that Brian Haybell-Waller, he has the retractor trike with the skinny wheels, and I like the big fat wheels just because they won't rut up on muddy or wet grass or whatever. So what are we looking at now, bud?
This is the MacFly tandem trike. Any of y'all had any experience with this one yet?
I have not.
No.
I apologize. The ones that I'm showing you, a couple of guys asked me to pull them up.
Okay.
So
I will say I did have, can you go back to the shot of that frame, the net? I did train a student on a solo trike that had the exact same frame, and it flexed considerably. It
Really?
actually broke all the lines on all the quadrants.
Oh.
And it didn't break the lines from hitting the prop. They have and again, I'm not saying that the equipment is anything bad. It may not have been set up correctly, but it was a catastrophe, the one I saw, to be honest with you.
I don't know why more paramotors don't come with like a cross member, crossbar. Some guys weld a crossbar, across the frame to give it some more rigidity.
All you need is the double hoop. There should be another way of clipping on a second hoop to give it that rigidity. And
You've got to think that's a tandem trike, so it's going to be exposed to 42-meter wings. What do you think a 42-meter wing and 8-mile-an-hour wind is going to do to that little single hoop?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I don't care if it's all titanium and thick gauge, it's going to bend it. It's going to happen.
Yep.
Yeah, my foot launch is dual hoop, which has saved my prop. That flight I took, I turtled. So when I fell back, if I didn't have the double hoop, it would have hit my prop and snapped it. But that hoop, the prop never touched the ground. I really like that double hoop.
So
There's tons of stuff out there that works.
Yeah.
But
it's the
you're putting your life and somebody else's life on the line. Why not have the extra layers of protection here? Why not have the double hoop? Nobody wants to destroy this equipment and pay extra money. So for advice for if you're getting into tandem, don't be cheap, because it's not going to play out in the end. You're going to end up buying more equipment from breaking stuff.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
Brooke, since you have tandem equipment, how much does a tandem equipment usually cost? That's good stuff, not that cheap stuff that you're talking about.
I mean, I would say if you're looking at anything that it does not have the Moster on it, because I think you really need more power than a Moster 185 to do tandems, you're looking at entry level 13 to 14,000.
And that's not including a wing.
No,
No.
that's just the machine itself. And then
Yeah.
you're looking at another 4 to 5 grand. By the time you get communications, strobes, and all the stuff you need, you're at $20,000 no matter how you look at it.
Easy, because you definitely need the bigger reserves
Yeah.
too. You want to
Yeah.
make sure that you're
Yeah.
safe. You got to have at least one reserve. And if you're doing tandem, I'd say 2 reserves. Why not? It's
I mean, I put a ballistic reserve on my machine.
So did I.
nice.
So
I
I
love
mean,
mine.
why not? We're already getting to fly for the cheapest amount anybody can. We're already getting access to the coolest part of aviation. Why not spend a little bit of extra money to make sure everybody's safe while we're doing it? That's just my
Exactly.
perspective from a school and from a person, because you got to think, and any good lawyer will tell you, you hurt one person out there, you lose everything you've ever worked for in your whole life. You get sued for it. Why are you going to cut corners on taking people up in the sky? It's just not worth it.
No, it's not. So
Like the way you
if
think.
you plan on doing tandems, plan on at least 20,000 bucks to do tandems.
And realistically, I would say all his numbers are right on. I mean, 13,000 buys you an entry level, good frame, 300, 301 motor that's safe for tandems. But I mean, you're starting about 13,000.
Yeah, with the wing, you're at 17 to 18,
Yep.
and 2 Bose headsets are 1,600 a piece.
Don't forget the
I mean,
helmet.
and it just depends on what equipment you're buying, you know?
And you got to pay to go down and get certified to even do tandems. So you got to add
Yeah.
that cost in there too.
And then you
Yep.
got to pay every year to keep your certification,
Yep.
which isn't much, but
So
Tony wanted to know how much that was. It was 4,960 euros, which is about $5,300. That's for the tandem trike, the MacFly.
okay. So for those that may want to do the tandem exemption and get a tandem trike, Brooke, what does it cost to go down and get your tandem certification to be able to do such a thing? And how long does it take?
Yeah, so I did that a couple of years ago, and I recently just was a guest instructor at One Up while they did it for a handful of other guys. I believe they charge $1,500. It's a 5-day course. They are asking that you have, I believe it's 100 hours in the last year, and that you have PPG-3 skill set. If you don't have trike experience, they can transition you to trike, but it takes about 3 to 5 days. It's about $1,500. And if you're a competent foot launch pilot and you're not a weekend warrior, you fly, you're passionate, and you have a skill set, I think just about anybody can go through their program and become an excellent tandem pilot. And I think the money's well worth it. I honestly am very impressed with their school. And again, I went there. I would recommend it to anyone. And I think you should take it very seriously, though. I think a lot of people think the idea of taking people up is cool and fun, but I can tell you I had all those great ideas, but when the reality came that I had this expensive machine, I had this person's life on the line, you've got to be way more analytical than even flying yourself.
Yep.
So it's not about how much fun you're going to have up there with them. It's about how you can show them a great time, and their version of a great time may not be what you think. And so what I learned more down there at One Up was less about flying and a lot about how to work with passengers, the psychology of teaching, the psychology of taking a passenger up and making them feel comfortable. And there's way more to being a successful tandem pilot than just being a good pilot. You have to be a good ambassador to the sport. You have to be able to talk and work with people, and you have to make people comfortable in a situation that, if you can remember back to your first flight, was a very uncomfortable situation. So One Up is the great place to do it. They have an amazing school, $1,500, 3 to 5 days to do it. But it's not what you think. It's not just about flying. It's a lot up here, not just your skill set of being a pilot.
I can't agree with that more. I mean, I got mine done a little over a year ago. It was about $1,500. They did require 1 year of trike. So that was one thing they did request, but it wasn't really flying that I learned. It was the respect for what you're doing. You're taking somebody else up with you. It's the liability. It was the whole mentoring part of it that I really got something out of it. So it wasn't really the flight skills and all that. I can fly a trike, big deal. But it was the day-to-day, how you approach the person, how do you make them comfortable, and then how do you resist? I mean, if it's rough at all out, I won't fly a tandem. I won't take that risk. And really, I thought when I go in, I'm going to go 100 hours. I'm going to get my tandem. I'm going to fly all the time. It doesn't really work that way. You really learn respect for the sport when I was down there that last time.
Brooke and Doug, if you have a motor out on a trike, do you think that you need more room for whatever LZ you try to, or wherever you plan on putting that thing down? Do you think you need more room than you would foot launch, or is it close to the same, or do you need to have an out that's got a lot more room because you're on a trike?
You always have to have an out. And I know we all say that in this whole sport, but I know 99% of us aren't thinking about it all the time in flight. I fly my tandems like the motor's going to quit any second. And that goes for climb outs, obstacles, turns, everything. I always want to have the biggest LZ I can get, because if the motor cuts out, it's not necessarily can I get the thing into a tight LZ, it's can I make the person feel safe?
Right.
And that's not going to happen if I got to whip a bunch of wing overs to cut it down right over the edge of the trees and get it in. And you can't do that with these 42-meter wings. They float, they fly. If there's any heat on the ground, once they get down to the ground, they're just going to float longer and longer. So I fly it like it's an airplane. I fly it. I literally fly it like it's a Cessna in regards to where my landings are, knowing that I can be a better pilot and tolerate less, but relying on more runway is what keeps things safe, and runway behind you is useless. So I just don't want to be in a situation where I wish I had done otherwise.
When you fly tandem, both you, Brooke and Doug, do you actually have a specific place that you fly, because there are so many different outs in your loop that you do, or do you just fly around?
I have certain fields that I only launch from. So I've got one that's got a really long runway. That's typically my tandem field. All the other ones that are shorter, thoroughly foot launch. So like he said, runway behind you is completely useless. The bigger the space, the better for tandem. You can give them a lot of time on the ground, get comfortable for a second before you finally take off. And and Brooke, just because you mentioned it, when I had my training down at One Up, I thought they were screwing with me. We were flying along, and we're coming in for landing, and the motor dies. And I'm like, they're messing with me. They're wanting to see if I can land this thing motor up. Like, what the hell is going on? My ponytail caught the choke, pulled the choke all the way on, so the motor died. So I thought they were screwing with me, and they were trying to do a motor out simulation. And no, I killed the damn motor with my ponytail. So
and that just goes to show how even a proper pre-flight, everything's perfect.
Yep.
And that's the thing about aviation. Yeah. That's the thing about life. It's not the thing you're thinking about that's going to bite you in the ass. It's going to thing you could never think about. Just like your hair catching the choke on the back of that Zenith. You never could have imagined that, right?
No, I mean, really, but I genuinely thought they had a button or something. They were messing with me. And no, I would have never thought of that in a million years. And
Yeah.
that's what's burned me in the past anyway, is what you don't see coming, it's going to get you. So
Yeah.
he had mentioned landing and all that. Realistically, tandem like you, I want as much runway as I can possibly have. Foot launch, if you're doing, or not for a tandem, sorry, if you're doing a light trike, I can land a light trike in about the same space as foot launch, but the terrain's got to be perfect, where the terrain doesn't have to be perfect for foot launch. That's the only difference there.
Excellent. Oh my gosh, is it really after 8 o'clock already? We've been talking for an hour.
It's
Holy
9 o'clock where I am.
9 o'clock.
Yeah, we still got questions in the chat too.
That is crazy. So real quick, if you remember, or if you were around last week when we did our secret code, put it in now. If you do put your secret code in that we talked about, then you are going to win something. We're still going to do the spinning wheel, but you still get to win if you were the first person that puts that code in that we talked about last week. All right, so we'll have to see if anybody says it. Do you remember what it was, guys?
Yep,
Okay, I wrote it down so I remember.
me
I can put
too.
it-
Me too.
I'll put it
I
here.
know kind of how it goes. I'll know it if I hear it.
All right, I'll go ahead and type it in our chat right here.
Okay.
Remember we
Wow, Travis, you don't go that far back. Did you watch Hee Haw, Travis? You must be an older pilot. I'm just wondering because
I know, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I missed it. What did they say?
BR 549.
That sounds familiar, like a spark plug.
Wow, Sean. Wow. Not even you. You okay.
What?
You have to be old enough to know where that's from. You don't know where BR 549's from?
No, it
Oh
sounds
my
like
God.
it sounds like a spark plug number.
It
I
sounds
don't
like
Well,
know. I don't
I'll
know
say
either.
this. Junior Samples lived really close to where I used to live in Georgia. Do you know who Junior Samples is? Damn.
No.
Hee haw, man. Come
I
on.
don't, how come I don't?
I've heard of Hee Haw,
that
but I
on
don't know.
How
Hee
was
Haw?
that? How's that hee haw? I don't remember. That was a long time ago. I don't remember. I mean, I remember watching it.
I
don't
just
remember anything
remember the
about it.
song. That's
Junior-
it.
Junior Samples was a car salesman. He'd be like, come on down, just call BR 549.
Oh,
That's
that's
BR
right.
549.
That's right.
He was hilarious. Okay, yeah, that's what it's from.
Okay, I don't really
Don't get me
remember.
start singing
hee
that
haw.
song.
Oh, do want to say
Where are you tonight?
Oh,
we give a shout out. We do a streaming audio podcast also to Podbean, and I just want to say hello to Passive J that's joined us and been listening to us. So thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
All right, so you saw what I posted on here. Did anybody say anything? I saw somebody said it was rigged. Tony said it was rigged. Oh yeah, Bonnie Brian Fraser says it's the pig's name. Yes, it's the pig's name.
Yes, what is the pig's name?
Yeah,
Bonnie, I think's got it because that's really close.
No,
I think
she got to come up with a name.
Oh, Bonnie did.
That's
Oh,
what
she
I'm saying. Look, yeah.
Bonnie, we'll put it in your box
was
of goodies
paying
that you won
attention.
over here. So when you come over here, you'll have a box of fun stuff.
Yeah, no kidding.
Congratulations, Bonnie.
That almost sounded
That
bad.
is so amazing. I tell you what, there's people that know this show and know what we do and know all about us. It's almost like we're kind of famous.
It won't even
One
get us
of
a
his
cup of
teeth.
coffee, but yeah, there you go.
Excellent.
Good
Well,
job, Bonnie.
Bonnie,
She was on it.
congratulations. Yeah, it is the pig, but I didn't remember the BR549. That sure looks like a spark plug number, though, doesn't it?
Us,
does.
us Michigan girls were like that, you know.
Yeah, it was Andy's,
We don't miss a beat.
yeah, it was Andy's pig. How about that?
All right, talk.
All right. So before we spin the wheel, if Will would like to say hello to everybody that he did put on the wheel.
Yeah, hey, but we stopped questions in the chat.
Yeah, we'll continue the questions.
Okay.
right after
I want to
spinning.
knock one of the questions out though before I forget.
Okay.
All right, so it's not really a question. Yeah, it's kind of a question. Jeremy is asking, are you required to serve snacks on tandem flights?
I saw that.
Good one, Jeremy.
That was good.
But
Oh,
okay.
Brooks went to go get the snacks. What the hell?
Yeah, Brian Franz says, if you do enough acro, your passengers will provide you with the snacks.
That's why you have this.
Okay.
Oh, you really got a barf bag? You got a barf bag for them too?
Oh yeah, I carry barf bags all the time.
Really? How
Oh,
many people have
really?
barfed on a tandem?
If you'll hold up for a second, I'll share a picture.
Oh Lord.
Oh God, no.
Oh,
Just like hang
Oh
tight.
my goodness! I never even thought about a
Oh.
barf
Everybody
bag.
just hang tight.
Hey, Linda, is Robert Mike is your son, of course. Is that video that we watched? Is that on his YouTube channel?
oh, I don't know. If
When he
put
was
it
doing
on-
a tandem, he was doing a tandem.
Yeah, when he got sick.
Oh my gosh, that was freaking
Yes.
hilarious, man.
I think he has to get permission
Yeah.
from the
Okay.
pilot. Yes, if he can put it, because it's been a few years. Yeah, I'll have to ask him if he can put it on there because I think he still had to get permission. Yeah, to do it. That was,
Classic
yeah.
flight.
That would be
Poor
very
guy.
highly hit on a TikTok for sure.
Yeah.
Man. I tell every tandem passenger, puke down, not over your shoulder, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Now I know
Oh.
why. Now I know why, Doug. You say that you want to be in the front, the passengers in the back. That's smart. I like
Perfect.
that.
I like that. Yeah. But don't hit the fan, please. Just don't.
Because when it hits the fan, man, it hits the fan.
All right. So
Bad will
There
happen.
you go.
if I call your name out, you are on the spinning wheel of winning things. If not, let me know, okay?
Oh my
You
God.
guys see
You
this?
caught it in the air. That's
Oh man.
terrible.
Wait,
Oh, no, that's probably just a
Oh.
screenshot of
is that a
the
freaking still
video.
photo? Or is
That
that
was a
slow-mo?
screenshot. I'm sure it was a screenshot of the
Oh.
video. But yeah, wow. Did you catch it? Oh, look at his face. Look
All
at
right,
his face.
Brooke, look at your face, man.
He said, "Oh no, it's coming."
Oh my goodness.
You know what direction that
gracious.
thing's. Yeah.
So the worst part was he's up there and he's like, yeah, man, I'm not feeling too good.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, what's up? He's like, I ate a bunch of cookout before I came.
Oh no.
I tell him, I'm going to start whipping it to the right and to the left. And when I go to the left, I want you to throw up. So I would put him into wingovers so I could use the inertia to throw the vomit to the other side.
Did it
Which
work?
just made him sicker.
Yeah, I would think.
Oh.
So now on my chest strap, I carry one of these. I can reach out, hand it to a passenger, and they can keep it if they get sick or nauseous.
Or at the very least, you can cover your face with it.
Now, let me say this. It's our job to make people feel comfortable up there.
Right.
It's not funny. It's not cool that somebody threw up on me. It's okay to kind of laugh behind the scenes with my paramotor buddies, but I'm not necessarily happy about that. So I make sure that every flight is as smooth as can be, but ultimately some people are going to get sick no matter what you do. And you just got to give them, I tell them, give me the double thumbs down. We'll put the thing down. So you don't want to take a person up there and whip it around or anything like that, but you can fly the thing straight and narrow, and some people are still going to get sick. So that's why I carry this.
Well, and that's a great idea, and I'm setting myself up. I know better, but as another tandem pilot, I think it's funny, in all honesty.
It is.
But now it's going to happen to me. So no matter what, I said it out loud. First flight, it'll happen, no question. And I always tell people, no matter what, if you're panicking, whatever, you can't talk, do this, and I land immediately. So, or I find a place to land immediately. But man, I'm gonna get puked on now. Crap. But still funny, still funny.
It's a catch-22 with that, because even with airplanes, I would not tell students that you know, if you need a barf bag, it's readily available, because it kind of, you know, I'm thinking it kind of gets their mind thinking, but I could always, at the drop of a hat, reach right back and boom, you know, I knew exactly where it was. I put my hand on that thing in an instant. But man, dang.
No, it's a good idea to have a couple of those in the front seat pockets. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I like that.
One thing I do,
or tell them not to eat before the flight, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like to tell my passenger before I'm going to take a left turn or a right turn, especially when I first start them off the ground. Hey, we're going to take a left turn. It might help for you to look to the left a little bit as we move that way. And then you can gauge their response to it. So I'm constantly checking in with my customer, and I actually run a mirror on my machine that allows me to see my customer's face at all times.
That's the best idea ever. Because that's the one thing, you're flying with somebody right in front of you. They could be scared crapless and you have no idea.
Yeah.
Now, the pictures I get of everybody is, yeah. But I mean, still, they could be up in full panic mode. So I thought about that too, putting a mirror up front just to see them. But
Yeah, and they can
yeah,
see
that's
you.
great.
So when you're smiling and you're having a good time,
Right.
they're like, okay, we're having a good time. Everything's okay. That reassures them that everything's okay. So I love the mirror. I think it's scary to be up there and have, I mean, I've been on the front seat and these guys are behind me. I don't know what they're thinking. Are they scared? But if I can see my guy back there just grinning and loving it, man, that means I'm going to have a good time too.
Yeah. I'm curious just because where's your mirror mount on yours?
So I have the two bars that come down on the,
Yeah,
I have the mirror mount on the passenger. I'm trying to show the camera right on the edge, and it's a ram mirror to where when I fly solo, I can angle it back and see the gas tank. And when I have a passenger, I can rotate it around. And as soon as they sit down, I say, why don't you go ahead and arrange that mirror so I can see you and you can see me. And they just move it. We lock it into place and we're smiling. So when I'm talking to them, it's like we're right there. They love it.
That's fantastic. I'm going to do a little Amazon shopping. That's a fantastic idea.
And that's got a good psychological effect too, because it makes them feel, even though, because you're behind them, they're looking forward. They don't have any peripheral of you. They've only got you in their head. So having that visual of knowing that the pilot is right there, right beside you, has to have a psychological effect and help them feel more comfortable. It's definitely a comfort thing, I would think.
Yeah. You couple that with quality communications, and you could take a person who is terrified and they would think they're sitting on their couch. If you can just talk to them correctly and walk them through what's happening. And if you just tell them what's going on, their mind will catch on. But if you don't talk to them, you don't give them any input, their mind runs rampant with anxiety. And it's up to you to tell a story. That's why when your customer shows up, you get to know them, you find out something about them. And throughout that flight, you're tying things back to why are they here? Why are they inspired? And you're trying to create that sense of wonder and amazement. Same reason you got into the sport. It's up to you to do that for them. So it's an art to being a good tandem pilot, in my opinion.
There you go. Yeah, I'm sure Erik was talking to me, but I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear him because I was yelling so loud because I was so super excited up there. I was just like so in awe, and I'm like, this is so cool. And then pretty soon I'm like, yeah, I'm just yelling, I did it, the whole time.
And you're going to get another shot. Trust me. We'll make sure it happens again. Brooke, I'm curious, just because the most surprising thing I ever hear from tandem passengers, and I bet probably 15 of my 24, when we landed, is that was the most relaxing thing ever. Oh my God. And I would never expect that reaction. I would expect, but they're like, that was so calming, so relaxing. So, I mean, that's a problem. Do you ever get that reaction?
100%. And they say it was so much smoother than I thought
Yep.
it was going to be.
Yep.
And if you're doing it right, that's also one little tip I tell other tandem pilots, and they told me this at One Up, is if we get off the ground and I fly a quick circuit, I do a touch and go immediately.
Me too.
So they're not afraid of landing the whole time we're flying.
Yep.
So I
Oh,
go
there
ahead and
you
get
go.
that over with. But yeah, if you're doing it right, they're gonna say it was relaxing, it was smooth, and it was one of the most amazing things that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, that one always surprised me. Always adrenaline or exciting or oh my God. But it was always like I had one gal tell me she almost fell asleep. I'm like, well, that would be kind of a waste. But I mean, still, I was surprised at how calm they all were. So, and
Oh,
maybe
I
it's just
wasn't
me
calm.
and female passengers being calm doesn't happen very often. That might be it, but it really surprised me. So
yeah.
So
when I-
Linda, how did you keep your cowboy hat on?
Yeah,
I've still
well,
got-
that's the Arizona girl still in me. Yeah, because I traveled the rodeo scene for like 18 years, so it
You're
it just
used to
stays
it.
with me. This is my signature. That's what yeah. So I love. Somebody said, "Hey, let's go horseback riding or whatever." I'm like, "Okay, let's do it."
You're gonna need a cowboy hat helmet then. I mean,
I know, I know.
it's just
Exactly.
paint the
Yeah,
cowboy hat on there. You'll be all right.
That'll work.
exactly.
Hey, Brooke, you know who gave me my first tandem ride?
I think I may have been the one.
You were it, dude. Yeah. And that was far. I didn't consider it relaxing. I thought it was exhilarating. It was just like,
Well, I mean, we had a little extra fun.
that's what I would expect.
well, yeah. I get that. But it's so nice just to go up and chill and like not have to do anything. You can just like soak in all the
Oh,
scenes.
by the way, I really appreciate your extra donation on PayPal for that.
Oh man, it was worth twice that amount. I'm telling
Well,
you.
I
enjoyed
thank
it
you
that
very much. I really do.
You're a good pilot.
That's something else I noticed. If I take other pilots up flying, they're like, wow, it's fantastic just to go up flying and not have to do anything. So
Yeah.
that surprised me a little bit too. It's really, really relaxing up here when you don't have to fly. And yeah, it's weird some of the things that passengers say that you wouldn't expect. Yeah, that's another big one.
I think
I
it's-
honestly, I've been sitting in here on this whole podcast, and I'm probably the only one here that's never been in a tandem before.
Wow.
Gotta do
Yeah.
it, man.
Well, you better do it. You better
I think
do
if
it, Ryan.
somebody's interested in getting into paramotoring and if they're scared or something, I mean, you could obviously go do a tandem ride, or I think the first experience I ever had with flying like that was parasailing. It's really cheap. You get pulled behind a boat. They bring you way up in the air. You got a glider over your head. It's basically the same thing, except it's completely quiet. With a paramotor, you got the motor
It's
sound.
terrifying.
It's not terrifying.
Oh,
If it
it's
would have been,
terrifying.
I was
never
it was.
parasailed.
Oh,
When I
it
did,
wa-
it was a little hard on the boys.
I was
Yeah.
I was in the Bahamas when I did it. It was nothing but clear blue water. I mean, it was like amazing to see that. So yeah.
I
It
think my
scared the
heart is
hell out of
tough.
me.
You know, we're going on a cruise this June. I wonder if there's some parasailing in one of our ports. I might have to look into that.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
I've never done that.
Oh, it's fun. I mean, it'll be just like what you did with SIV, except you're not having to do any moves. Just
Well,
don't
that's
let
good.
them drop you in the water like near the sharks. They like doing that. They'll let you come down and then dip in the water and pull you back up. But if there's sharks, tell them no. Don't put me in the water.
That's like SIV with the alligators.
Yeah, yeah. That's always fun. It's like, oh, there's an alligator, and I'm coming down. Crap. Here we go. Oh well, that's fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm ready. Like I said, I'm going back to Torchport in May, and I'm going to go up on another one. And I've already talked my friend Leslie. I think I talked her into going up. So it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be really cool. Yeah,
I'm
when I
ready for
came
you to
down,
go
I was
back up.
crying. I was laughing. I had so many emotions going on, and it was just cool. Everybody was so sweet down there. And they, they're just And that's what it's about, you know. You land, you got people that are supporting you, that you flew and they're excited for you. And, you know, it's something I'll never forget. You know, there's more to come. Really, really is. So considering that I'm doing the shows for years, I decided, well, I need to go up on a tandem, you know, so I can, because I hang with you guys all the time and you're always talking about going up in the air and everything. And I just went to Torch and decided, all right, I'll go out. You know, I wasn't like I woke up in the morning and said, I'm going to go flying. It was something that I had to really thought about for over a year, you know, like, okay, I'm going to do this. And before I knew it, I was thinking that seat and I was ready to go.
It took you over a year to get mentally focused to do it, or just took a year to?
Yeah. I just kept thinking about it. And I knew if I didn't do it, I'd regret it. And I wanted to be an inspiration for other people, you know, to get up there and do it, that are like my age, as the saying goes, you know. Yeah, that's another reason too. I wanted to inspire people, but it's just something, once I got up in the air and I did it, it just, my life changed for the good. It really did. It totally brought me out of my comfort zone. And like I said, anybody who goes up in the air, you're going to experience everybody's going to experience it differently. You know, you can't explain it till you go up, and everybody's going to have different feelings. You're either going to hate it or you're going to love it, right? So I loved it.
True. And you've taken your first one last year and you're going to go up again this year. So you're not going to go out and fly yourself. You're just going to go out in tandem every year and keep that enjoyment up.
Yes. Right? Yes. Yeah. I'm not going to get a machine anytime soon. I'm just going to, you know, everywhere I go, I'll just hitchhike a ride on a tandem. Hey, want to take me up? I'm Paramount. Like,
there's
sure.
A lot of people out at the fly-ins just go out to all the fly-ins, right?
Yeah.
Brooke, do you go out to the fly-ins?
My first one in Holland, Michigan. That's where I met Doug, and I was so fascinated, and that was the first time that I actually saw, you know, these paramotors. Actually saw them in person. You know what I'm saying? And it was pretty. There's my. She's up. It was pretty exciting. So. Excellent. Yeah, and then as we went on through the shows and everything, you know, Erik and Jade said, "Hey, come on out to Torch. We're going to be out there." This was last year, and why don't you come out? I'll take you up. And I said, "Okay," until I did. That's it.
All right, it's almost 8:30, so let's go ahead and do the spinny wheel. Also too, we got 2 people listening, Passive J and Pac-Man, into our live stream. Our live audio stream on Podbean. So we probably are going to add them. Or did you add them, Will? Pac-Man and Passive J? Oh, Will, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
Ooh, Derek Trout's in the crowd.
You're still on mute, Will. Come on, Will. Well.
Terrible. I only have 100,000 screens on my windows. I'm trying to find you guys. So you said Pac-Man and Passive J?
Yeah, Passive J is listening in our audio, and Pac-Man is listening also. So hey, let's go ahead and add you guys. I mean, if you guys are listening, hey, we're gonna add you too. Why not?
Wait, I gotta do a shout out real quick. I see the names there. Linda Kramer. She's in the chat. Hi, Linda. Welcome. I'm so happy you're here tonight. I got to meet you on the after show on Robert's show on Thursday night. And she's an awesome lady. She is an awesome lady. I can't wait to see more of her.
There's Hot Buttered Steve's out there. Walter's out there. Derek Trout's out there.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Walter.
Flying Flamingo.
Tony, to answer your question, I think Brooke said earlier the most he can take up on that tandem wing is 1,000 pounds.
That's on the 42-meter Cyclone, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, my Nivic R-Bus 37 has an all-up weight maximum of
Erik, Clear, Jay
1,050.
Clear.
So yeah, they're typically right around there.
Oh, Mere Bear actually joined our audio chat too. So let's go ahead and add Mere Bear, MEREBEAR, to the spinning wheel of winning things. So maybe they can win something. So
There you go.
There.
yeah, so it's MEREBEAR.
Hi, Bill H. I see you in there. This is my favorite part, just reading the wheel, seeing everybody who's in the chat. Thank you,
Alright.
chatters.
You ready?
Will, can you say hi to everybody in our chat? Because I think that we
Everybody.
stopped that.
I'm excited for you to go back up, Linda. I think,
Thank you.
you
I am
need to
too.
you need to get back up in the air again. I mean, you keep talking about the experience you had, and I'm like, she needs another one. Do it.
Absolutely.
Oh
Sounds
my
like,
God.
sounds
I'm
like
like
you
fighting
need to
at the
take the
bit
control.
now. As
So we
they
got-
use
Yeah,
the
did-
horse these.
Paul
Yes.
Marzano, Passive J, Mere Bear, Erik PPG Lear, Derek Trout, Linda Kramer, James Belleville, A-Lines, Pac-Man, Eric Von Eric, Run Into the Sky, Org, Mad Sloper, Gary, I think it's Gary Simons, a typo, Jeremy, Adventureland,
Yeah.
Steve, Andy Bynum, Walter Priori from Australia, Brian Tupper, Bonnie Franz, John Wayne's in the house, Tony Marzano, Harris Smith 101, Mr. Dana 54, what's up, Dana? Michael Skates, Travis DuPont, Angela Preslick, Andy Bynum.
And
Did I have Andy in there twice? I sure do. So sorry,
Okay.
Andy. Can only be in there once, dude. Nice try. No,
that's
my bad. Tony Marzano. Do I have him in there twice? I don't think so.
okay.
So what's up, Tony? Bill H, James, Deweese Milstead, PPG, the other Nick, Brian Franz, Greg Laney, Flying Flamingo, Jerry PPG, and okay, did I say James Belleville? I don't think so.
Tony Marzano is in there twice.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
So I did read these guys. Paul Marzano.
I see James Belleville
Okay.
in there. So you
Okay,
got that.
so where is Tony Marzano? You say he's in there twice?
Yeah, it's there and then go down a little bit more. There
Towards
you
the
go. Okay.
bottom. I
Yep.
see
There
him
you
on the
go.
bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Tony, man, you're sneaky, dude.
Okay. Hey, Will, next week, you put the names out like this and I'll read all the names.
Okay,
Okay? I want to do that next time.
you got it.
Okay, because
that'll be
you're
your job.
doing like so much tonight. Now, I should have spoke earlier because yeah, I love doing that.
All right, that'll be Linda's job from now on then.
All right. You
Yeah, I
got
can
it.
see. Yeah, I will. I'll read them all off. That'd be fun.
All right, so we're
You
shuffling.
gotta memorize them too. I only put them on the screen for a short period of time. So I'm gonna
With one eye.
I'm gonna spin the wheel and you all pick a name who you think it's gonna be, but you can't say it until the wheel starts spinning, okay?
Okay.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Jeremy.
Exciting.
Who's it gonna be, Linda?
I'm thinking this might be the new person we put in there, that Mere Bear, maybe Pac-Man or Passive J that's listening.
Angela Preslick. maybe.
I'm thinking Hot
Um,
Buttered Steve, just
Derek,
because
I
that's a
think maybe
great
Derek
name.
Trout might win.
Yeah, DT, he's a winner.
Bonnie
He won.
Franz.
He won the Tucker contest.
Oh, really?
Oh, oh.
It is gonna be Derek Trout.
He said Derek Trout.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
told you he's a winner. He's my bud too.
Ah,
Am
that's
I
rigged,
good or
man,
what?
I'm telling you. Congratulations,
Could
Derek.
say thank you, Paramount.
That was good. He won the Tucker contest and this contest.
What are the odds of that?
We're gonna have to interview him now.
Yeah,
I need to
yeah.
go
Derek.
play the lottery.
I have
Well,
I need to go
yeah, say luck.
get a ticket, man.
Well,
So-
luck-wise, if he's not flying, he should be flying. Because yeah,
So don't worry.
Congratulations, Derek.
Yeah, Derek, don't. Yeah, and you guys that didn't win, don't worry. If you get a free account over at Paramotor Arkansas, so go to paramotorarkansas.com. Make a
Derek wins a tandem with me.
There you is that what you want to do, Brooke?
Well, I mean, I just flew with Derek last week, so sure, yeah.
There you go.
Ah,
All right.
I,
Oh, that's
I
funny.
will say you completely inspired me. I am now www.myflyguy.com. So I do
Excellent.
have my own URL now.
Yay!
All
So
right.
yeah,
Dave's got his own .com.
yeah,
Excellent.
had to
looks
do it.
like-
Cool. I
Uh,
like
looks like-
that.
MIFLYGUI.com.
MIFLY
GUI. So MichiganFlyGuy.com.
MichiganFlyGuy.com. Okay, if I
Looks
write
like
that down. Michigan Fly
geriatric
Guy.
PPG or John Wayne posted a video of flying at Paramotor, Arkansas.
He did indeed.
Yep, 29 minutes ago. He just posted a video. So we
Yeah.
get to see him
Alright.
fly down there with Sean.
Yeah, he came down
Awesome.
to one of our classes and flew around and showed the students how to do it. So thank you, John Wayne, for going down there. We
Thanks,
had a
John
blast.
Wayne.
Yeah, and John said the first 10 people that watch it will earn $1,000.
Awesome. I'm going to watch
Oh,
it
wow.
right now.
Yeah.
Really?
Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding.
So, like I say, guys, if you want to win something, and you can always go to paramotorarkansas.com, make yourself a free account. And when you make that free account, please make sure that you add in your mailing address. Every week or so, we go through and just randomly pick somebody, and then we send something out. So if you got something in the mail that you didn't win or whatever, you won because we just pick something and send it out. We do a lot of 3D printing, so we've been printing a lot of different types of chase cams, and we just send these because we got so many of them. We just put some together
Good
and we
Lord.
and we
You've
just
been printing your tail off.
we have
Those are cool looking.
and
Now,
then
you
we've
know, since you're talking about all the trike guys and all that, you might want to think about putting a program in there for the line holders for the sides. If you're gonna 3D print them, all my line holders are 3D printed. So
Oh, I actually got some someplace. I did print them, and I printed out some shoe. What do you call those? The
cold shoe.
GoPro mount for your shoes.
oh, nice.
I
Shoe
got some-
cam.
Yeah,
Shoe
yeah, for your
cams.
shoe cam. Yep.
I thought those were Walmart cams, but that's different probably for a creepy reason. So
Now no one's doing that.
So yeah, if you want to, just go over to paramotorarkansas.com, free account, put your
Awesome.
mailing address in there, and then we just send stuff out randomly. So you might just come, you know what else we got that you might get in the mail too? I don't know if I have it here or not, but no, I don't. I got
a question.
sure.
So who invented the chase cams? Like, who is the original inventor of it? Because now, now a lot of people, like you're making the chase cams, a lot of people make them like you do, right? I mean, that's a big deal right now.
There's a lot of chase cams out there. Plus, you can make one out of a 2-liter bottle. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to print out one. They were making 2-liter bottles, putting one on the end of an arrow. So they had the arrow chase cams. Then they started making 3D printed chase cams, all sorts of different types. I have no idea who made the first one, but I think that the first time that they made a cam that was small enough to fly behind you, they probably did that.
Can you,
But I don't
can you
know.
explain what they do? I'm sorry. Can you explain what the chase cam does for people that don't know,
Sure.
what
So-
its purpose is?
Sure. So let me just grab my lightning thing here that I plugged my phone into, but don't use this. So what you do is you connect this to like your C line. So if you have A, B, C's, and D's, you want to connect it to like the C line, not the D line, and definitely not your brakes, right? So center as you can. We want to make sure that when you connect this with a cam on it, probably something like a Session, something small and light, is that this thing will float behind you with your
Right.
camera with an angle that shows you, shows you from behind, shows your paramotor, your wing. So they have the chase cam, and they also have a wing cam, and I love my wing cam. It's a GoPro mount that's on a magnet. So you put it in the center of your wing, it clamps down like that. You put your GoPro facing up, which will be facing down, and you got amazing videos of you looking, a camera looking down at you. You got the chase cam that shows you from behind, and then of course you got your selfie stick. I mean, you get all sorts of really cool camera angles.
Okay.
What kind of camera angles do you guys use? I mean, let's talk about cameras real quick. Selfie
Yeah.
stick,
Oh,
cameras,
wait.
360s.
But wait. You win. This thing is freaking fantastic.
I told you.
I love this thing. Now, it's the creepiest thing in the world. Put it on a tripod and it follows you around the room. That's really creepy. But the idea of having a tandem passenger be able to put a mic on their helmet, have them use this, that'll be fantastic for tandem flights. But I use it in the classroom and it literally follows me around the room when I do lectures. So I love that thing. Works great. Run 2 hours on a battery.
Yeah, I
Is that a DJ Osmo?
Yeah,
Yep.
Osmo Pocket.
That's a
Yeah,
pocket.
I don't use mine enough. I should. I've had it for a while. I just rarely use the thing. I need to.
Yep, those pockets are great because you can have your throttle in one hand, the pocket in the other. You got your brake toggle. So, I mean, it feels normal. I mean, you have something in both hands. It feels normal. Just make sure you use that strap around your wrist because if you drop it, take it back up. But then you have a wireless mic that you can connect to your boom that goes directly to that camera. And it's one of the best microphones. When you're flying, I know that Tucker has some videos where he solders this in and does this and does that for a GoPro. This by far is the easiest, no soldering, and it's you just hold in your hand, you put your wireless on your mic, and it sounds like this right here.
I throw it in my shirt pocket for lecture, and I'm amazed at how good the audio is. So yeah, it beats my Canon DLSR. I mean, or my SLR. So it wins no matter what.
What are you using for a mic, Sean?
It's a compatible thing for your pocket, your DJI pocket.
Yeah, it's a creator kit.
Yeah, if you got the creator kit, it actually comes with it.
Oh, okay. Now I know what you're talking about. Okay,
Right,
gotcha.
and it charges USB-C. So I mean, actually, you have a dual USB-C. You plug it into one USB, and it comes out with USB-C and a USB-C. So you plug it in to your pocket and your microphone at the same time, so it charges both at the same time. And then you just turn them on, and they automatically connect. It has a clip on, so you can clip it on your boom mic that you already have on your helmet, or put it right there on your shirt. I've done that before too. And then you just take your camera and your throttle, and so when you take off, you have your throttle in one hand, you have your DJI on the other, your pocket on the other, and when you go fly around, you just turn it on and you just do all the fun stuff that you want to do. Talk about it. It turns around towards you, looks out that way. It runs 4K. And it runs about 2 hours on one battery, which is probably longer than most people's flights.
Is that on Amazon you get it?
I'm sure you can get on Amazon, but you can go to DJI. They have it. They have the pockets and they have all sorts of different cams. I also run a 360 cam. I like the 360 because I can put it on my chest mount and have both have my hands free like I normally would, or, carry that DJI. Have the 360, have a wing cam that's looking down, and have a chase cam. Man, you can do some serious filming. And if Will's talking with his mute on, we can't hear him.
Yeah. Do they have a 360? You said, I know they have a 360 camera, but is it like something that would fit on like the Osmo, the gimbal type thing, or how does that work? The Insta360, right?
I got the Insta360. I also have a GoPro 360, which I think is called the Max. I like the Max. It's a little bit heavier, but the battery lasts longer, and you can change out the batteries in flight.
So how do you mount if you want, because if you put it on your chest, you're not going to get 360, coverage. So
360 around you, you can see
around you, but
Right.
where could you mount it somewhere? I don't know anything about that camera. Is it like easily mountable? Or helmet mount or what?
When I fly, I personally don't want any snag hazards, so putting anything on my helmet, I don't do. I have a chest mount that I put different things on. I do like to have my 360 on the selfie stick. So I also take off like that. So I take off with my throttle in one hand and my selfie stick with the 360 on. Once I get up to altitude, I pull it out just like everybody else. They sit on one end, and now you got 360 right in front of you. And it
I
runs
mean,
really good.
well, the pocket's got a gimbal built into it, so when you're bouncing around, the camera stays steady. And
Yes.
if you want to turn back, you can hit the button and the camera will flip back around and look at you, and then you can hit it again and it'll flip back around to the front. It's
It
not a
has
360 view, but
selfie mode.
yeah, it has a selfie mode, so you can switch it around, talk to the camera, then flip it back around to the front, pan whatever you want.
What's intriguing is the wireless mic. So is it the 360? Is that the wireless mic available for it too on the DJI?
I don't know that
You're supposed to be able to hook AirPods to them, but I've not had a lot of success with that. They
AirPods
do
to
hook
what?
to the pocket. It has a Bluetooth connection thing where you can make them connect, but it's never worked that good. Maybe since the firmware update it has. I need to try it again and see if it works. But I got a Wi-Fi adapter I can hook in the bottom also. I got the older pocket. I don't got the newer pocket like they do. But and so it'll hook Wi-Fi also.
I know it sucks. Every year they come up with something new, bigger, better, cheaper, and you're like, why do I got the original Osmo, the big one like this, and the amazing video. But it's a lot bigger. The pocket is just so nice. It just fits in your pocket. Was there a question that popped up?
There's a ton of them.
Okay, let's go ahead and start going through the questions real quick.
I guess we'll start with the one that Tony just asked, but he said it's a stupid question, but why don't they use tennis string for netting? That's I mean, they've used all kinds of things for netting, Tony, including
they use Kevlar for sure. I mean, a lot of the netting is Kevlar, so it's pretty strong.
I'm kind of thinking my old DK Whisper was pretty much tennis string. I mean, old school.
Yeah. Obviously the SkyTap Angel has the really strong. It's like 500 test pound on the Angel, and we also got a Nirvana, and their string, their netting is really solid too, but their holes are a little bit bigger. I don't know about any other ones that are really, really strong. They're mostly like fishnet. I think that's what he's talking about, right? The difference between the fishnet and the strong tennis racket type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen quite a few things used for netting, and especially in a pinch. But
also real quick, I want to shout out to Boogie Nights that's listening to our audio stream, and Negin, Negan, and Negan. So we got Negan, Boogie Nights, Pocket Farley, Near Bear, Pac-Man, Passive J are all listening on our audio stream on Podbean. So welcome, guys.
Cool.
I like the MacFly frame for as far as netting goes, because it has little hoops all around the actual ring. You can string your own line through it. So as long as you know how to do the design, you can put whatever kind of string you want on the MacFly frame. I don't know what other ones do that, but I know on the MacFly it's got just little hoops where you run your string through it instead of them being riveted in. That way, when they get knocked out, you either got to re-rivet it or figure out something else.
Yeah,
well, I'm just appreciative that my net's cheap.
What was that?
I'm appreciative my net's cheap, so you don't have to worry about it's $80 for a net. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, that's nice. James we were talking about it in the chat, and I've had a Parajet before, and my main gripe, and the only gripe that I've had with the Parajet, is how expensive that freaking netting is.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I mean, it's freaking expensive.
I have no idea how much are nets usually. Is that $400 about for?
I think it's closer to 500, I think, with shipping and all that. It's all built into the that hoop that goes around it.
It snaps in. That's right.
So, Paul Marzano, welcome, man. I guess, is that Paul, are you Tony's brother by chance? But he wanted to know what frame rate you could get on the DJI. And I know we talked about more than one DJI. It does slow-mo, right?
Yeah, it goes at 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
I think
Unless
that's
you go down to
1080p.
1080p, then you can do 120 frames per second.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was 240 at 10.
It may go up to 240. I've never tried to run it that high, but yeah.
I know some of their new drones have 240. I don't know if their action camera does.
I don't know. I usually don't run. You're talking about like for slow mo or something, or
Yeah.
or more frames for
Yeah,
slow-mo?
the higher the frame rate, the more you can slow it down and still keep smooth action.
Yeah. I usually run it at 4K, and whatever the 4K is, I think it's 60 frames a second, and that's more than enough for what I need to do. It takes great screenshots with that, so I can screenshot, you know, some good stuff. I think I got a good screenshot when I was foot dragging, and a skunk popped up with his butt towards me and sprayed as I was going by. I'm like, what the hell? So I got a good screenshot of that one.
We have to have Brooke come back on because you said screenshot, and I almost forgot about the thumbnail tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And we've got questions for Brooke. Most of these questions are for Brooke.
All
Only
right.
Brooke
Okay.
can answer these questions.
Okay.
But he is back.
All right.
See him? Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
There he is.
Oh, it's a shadow
There he
person.
is.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Let's do a quick screenshot, then we'll start asking questions. Sound good?
Yeah.
And here it is, almost 9 o'clock. Wow. This is just boom, boom, boom. I love it. All right. Cheeseburger.
All right.
Paramotor. Trike.
Okay, I'm going to count to 3. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Got it.
We.
Yeah,
So,
well,
Brooke,
I don't know if you've run into this problem, Sean, but when I was training
Thanks,
down
Rob.
there with Kylo, I was kiting my wing, and then he had another student kiting in another part of the field. And, you know, he told me to build a wall, and then I made the wall, and I had it like floating like 2 feet off the ground. And he walked away like, I ain't got nothing more to teach you. And then a cottonmouth was laying on the ground and freaking snapped at him. He jumped in the air, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I had to hurry up and put my wing down. He's like, it's a snake. I'm like, you're kidding me, dude. Because I'm not used to seeing stuff like that. And there was a freaking cottonmouth laying on the ground. He's like, I'm gonna have to start checking the field now before we go kiting. I'm like, well, there you go.
Why you wear boots out in the field, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, out in the field, there's ticks, there's bugs, you know, it come late at night. I mean, mosquitoes this big come out. I mean, I don't know why in the world that
Oh,
we
in
get some big
Florida
mosquitoes.
they do.
It's nasty. You guys that are listening to our audio stream, we only get a limit of 120 minutes, so you're going to be kicked off in about 2 minutes. So please go to iflyparamotors.com and you'll be able to watch the rest of the show. iflyparamotors.com, and then just look for the current live stream, and we'll see you there. All right. Hate that we only have 120 minutes. on the live
Jim
stream.
has arrived at Salton Sea.
Excellent.
Hallelujah.
Oh, good.
Yay. Wow.
That's
That was a long,
Yeah.
From Canada all the way down there, man.
that's just like way too long to
Wow.
be.
I hope
driving.
he gets lots of video. I hope his paramotor works. I hope that he flies a lot. Hope he has a blast.
Brooke, I'm ready for you, man.
I hope he's got spare exhaust bolts, because the last flying I went to, the guy was like, I got every freaking spare part except exhaust bolts. And
Oh.
that's what fell off.
So,
Exhaust bolts like
Yeah,
the ones that.
he landed and said, I lost my nuts. We're like, what?
Oh man, I hate when I lose my
while we're
nuts.
waiting for Brooke,
Yeah.
Bonnie France asked if there was that there was a fly-in, a new fly-in in June, and yes, there is. It's called Fly It for Gauge 2023. It's in Hardy Lakes Park, and that's in Bowling Green, Florida. And this place is the neatest, biggest, best PPG place that I've ever flown out of. absolutely amazing how big it is, and plenty to do during the day. And it's already just looking at the page here, 70 interested, and we just put it up. So all the proceeds are going to charity. So yeah.
That's
Check it out.
awesome. Unfortunately, I'll be on a cruise during that time.
There will be, this is just the first annual, so there'll be one next year too.
I will definitely try my best to get to it.
All right, Brooke, you ready, man? You're on mute, dude.
Brooke, you're on mute. There you go.
What are we doing?
Can't believe you'd be on mute like that.
We're going to ask you a ton of questions because apparently there's a ton of questions in the super chat that we haven't got to yet.
I think they'll go pretty quick. So A-Line wants to know, Brooke, what's your go-to single seat trike?
Oh, the Vertigo.
The
Fly
Vertigo.
Products Vertigo, whether Moster 185 or a Cosmos 300, those would be my go-tos. I have it with the Moster 185. I like the Vertigo because it has a low center of gravity, a wide wheelbase, comfortable seat, rear protection cage. All the pieces are modular, break apart easy. It can also be repaired easily, and all the repair schematics are online. You order a part that's broken, it's there at your house from Italy in 6 days.
What'd you say it was, Brooke?
What's that?
What'd you say it was, Brooke? I'm gonna write it down.
The Vertigo. Basically, anything from Fly Products can be had in just a matter of days if you put your order in quickly.
I've heard that Fly Products is the way to go when it comes to getting trikes. I've heard that from numerous people.
They have an amazing trike lineup. The trike lineup is well thought out. They each complement each other in the lineup. They've been making trikes for 20 plus years. Everything online is very clear, all the manuals, all the schematics, the customer support. And like you said, if One Up is great to work with, and they are the Fly Products importers. I love those trikes. I love my Vertigo.
What do you think about the Foxy trike? Because that's the one that's supposed to go with my paramotor. I'm just wondering because
I mean, if you want to have the equivalent of the retractor, you want a simple light trike to mount on your foot launch paramotor, it works perfect. Yeah.
I was worried that it was going to have a small wheelbase and be easy to tip over.
I mean, I would argue that almost any of those designs are kind of similar to that.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to pilot skill. If you're using one of those light trikes, you need a little bit more of a skill set anyway. It doesn't have that built-in wider wheelbase or weight. But no, I'd say it's on par for all the ones that are out there.
Okay.
Cool. James wants to know, what's Brooke's current foot launch unit?
I fly a Parajet Maverick. I'll be upgrading to the Mav Max pretty soon. And I fly a 19-meter free ride. And I just upgraded to a 19-meter free ride too.
That's the one with the bigger hoop, isn't it? The new Parajet.
Well, the free ride's my wing. The Mav Max is the new Parajet Maverick, the larger version with the 140 prop and the 2.87 reduction. And I think it's worth mentioning that I don't know if anyone saw Chris Santacroce's video that came out in the last 2 weeks, where he addresses the current trend of all of us flying tiny wings and big motors. But if you watch that video, he talks about how, we're not getting any older, we're not getting any younger, and our bodies are taking the toll of all this small wing, big motor stuff. That's another reason I fly trike. I get to log hours and hours and hours with no stress to my back, no stress to my feet, no stress to my ankles or my knees. And so
don't remind me, damn it.
Yeah, if you want to fly hundreds of hours a year and you're 40, 50, 60 years old, you're eventually going to have some wheels somewhere.
It's always fun to have a light trike that you can bolt on your wheel launch. I mean, I think the biggest problem or the hardest thing for people to do when they get into the sport is to do nil wind forward inflations. And that seems to be the hardest thing that people do. So during those times, early in the morning, get your wheels out there, go launch and have fun in the evening, or when they have a nice 6, 7, 8 mile an hour wind, do those reverses, turn around, gun it, take 2 steps, and you're doing an elevator up in the air. So, I mean, it's great when you have the wind, to do foot launch foot launch. And when you don't have the wind, do the bolt-on light trikes.
So that's the whole thing. That Foxy trike is $2,500. The Kanguk trike is like $1,200.
Yes.
Oh, just get whatever's simple and affordable. There's not a huge difference between any of them. They can all be flown safely. As long as it can match up on your trike, I would just get whatever you can afford.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we got Jeremy says, what does Jeremy say? He says One Up Adventure has to be the best trike classes in the USA. Is that right?
Pretty good.
All right, so Brian Tuffer says, can you land on your feet with the retractor trike or with the retractable?
So for the record, I have seen that done.
I've done
Will
it.
I do it? I will not do it, but it's that bar when it goes under your seat goes down at an angle. And when he landed on his feet, but he dragged that bar behind him. So I not good for you if you pulled it off. That looks way too sketchy for me.
Oh, Sean said he's gonna do it.
I haven't done it on the tractor trike, but I've done it on other light trikes.
Okay, good for that. That's pretty BA because that looked really sketchy.
But the thing is, though, when you have the wheels, that's the fun part, you know, because you're three-wheeling on the ground, and all of a sudden your three-wheeler takes off in the air. It's like amazing. It's like you're Evel Knievel, you know, on a motorcycle, and then all of a sudden you're going to go up and over the Grand Canyon type of thing. You can do that with these trikes. It's just so amazing. But on the same note, you can pull in your brakes, or you're pulling your trims. You can do a wrap when you come in. You just come in right, and then you can pull all the way down with that wrap, and you can just set it down right on the wheels. Or if you can stand up if you want to, and stand up and drop it. It's pretty fun. But I wouldn't do that if you're a brand new trike person, though.
29 more questions, Brooke. You ready?
40.
Yeah.
No, man, that was it. I think we're caught up.
Oh my goodness, so much fun. I really love this. Well, guys, do we want to continue to talk, or are we good for the night?
I've got to head out. I got to eat some dinner.
Oh,
I'm wrapped up for the evening.
Yeah. Thanks again, Brooke, for letting me know that I'm not going to die on my wing. I was really worried about that weight thing.
You're
I mean,
good, man.
I don't know why I didn't even think about looking at the placard on the damn wing. I'm looking all over the websites, and all of them said the same damn thing. And then the placard's like, nope, you can carry a lot more weight than that. So that makes me feel better.
Well, good. I'm glad you're safe.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you, Brooke. We appreciate you tonight, taking the time to hang with us. I learned
Yeah,
a
it's been
lot.
fun.
and
Good to
thank
see
you,
again.
and thank you for the gift to Derek Trout for a trike trike trip.
Trike.
Excellent.
There you go.
Yeah,
That was
Brooke, I'm
funny
coming
that
over
I
to
got-
fly with you one of these days.
Yes.
Will, I heard we're having our own private pilot mountain fly-in coming up.
Yeah,
I heard
again.
we didn't get invited to a certain one.
Yeah,
so we're
that's
gonna
all
have
right.
to throw our own.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm cool with
Did you
that.
see Will's new hotel on wheels that he's got?
I've heard about it. I haven't seen it personally.
Oh, he's got a video. You got to go watch it, man. He has decked that thing out. It's
Yeah.
like,
We got a van.
yeah.
Yep.
And
And
even, it's got his Will Fly logo on the side. It's
Oh, yeah.
nice.
Doesn't it have a, did I hear it has like a disco ball inside it?
Oh, it's got the ice
Ladies.
cream music to attract the children.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get me inside that at the next fly-in.
So if you want, I probably have a couple "Don't laugh, your daughter may be in here" stickers. So if you want one, I'll
Come to the man van. Yeah, girls, come on
Oh,
over
my
here.
goodness, that is so funny. Well, guys, I had another amazing, wonderful time talking with you guys. Brooke, I know that you got to go, so we'll wave you off first. Have a great one. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much. Real quick, how do we get up with you if we want to go over to your school and learn how to fly or trike?
Yeah, just check us out at pinnacleparamotor.com. or Pinnacle Paramotor on Facebook. And you can also check out Mark and Alana Honeycutt on YouTube. They've got a great YouTube following and a bunch of videos that show a lot about what we do and a lot of stuff that Mark and Alana do on their adventures. So yeah, check us out there.
Excellent.
Yep,
Thank you so
they're
much.
cool.
Have a
I
good
like
one,
it.
buddy.
Cool. Peace.
Also, Doug Martin, I think he said that he's got to go too, so we're going to wave him off real quick. Thank you for joining us, Doug. You've been on our show like a couple of 3 years in a row or something.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
about. And this semester I have the greatest teaching semester ever. So maybe I'll have more time. That'll
Oh,
be cool.
good. You're
That's
more
awesome,
than welcome
Doug.
to join us anytime that you want to, my friend.
Yep.
Well,
I'm
thank you.
happy you're
Appreciate
doing good. I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Later on, buddy. Well, it leaves us with our normal panel right here. So let's go ahead and wave everybody off on our normal panel. I guess we'll start with Scuba Steve.
Yo, yo. All right. You can reach me at paramotordude.com. Or, if you look up Scuba Vapes on YouTube, you can find me there. I do a show every Friday night, 8 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. And I mix between vaping and PPG flying. So it's kind of weird. I just go with whatever's on my mind at the moment, I guess.
It was fun. I joined you last Friday.
Yeah,
I believe all of the paramotor people that were on your podcast.
There, I got to thank everybody, Angela and Bill and Wayne, all kinds of people. Will Fly was in there too. I was like, damn, Linda comes in there. I can't, it's like, wow, I didn't really expect y'all to come, but I do appreciate it.
Well,
Perhaps the party.
Yeah, I'm finally remembering your shows on Friday night. So, Jade reminded me one night. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. And now I watch it every Friday.
got to hit that bell notification, that way that you're going to be, notified when he goes live.
Ding, ding.
That's the only reason why I knew. It was like it popped up,
Tony, you too. I'm sorry. Yeah, I've been doing that show for YouTube, I've only been doing about 10 years, but I've been casting, I guess.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah, I've been casting like 12 years, I think. I
Dang.
don't know. Yeah.
You're like a veteran at this now,
Well,
man.
I mean, I used to do it like twice a week, but it gets really taxing, trying to do stuff twice a week. And before it was just vaping stuff. And, you run out of stuff to say. And then most of the people that come in are people that already know everything about it. So it's like you're preaching to the choir. So what do? You start doing paramotor so you can talk about new stuff.
That's right. It never gets old.
There you go.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Scuba Steve. We definitely appreciate you, and thank you for sharing your podcast on Fridays with us.
No problem.
We also got Ryan Rides that we want to be on the show again. So Linda, get up with Ryan because we want to do another podcast with him because tell us about all the different drones and what they can do because it's hard for me to explain since you do it professionally.
Sure. So what I do is, I'm the general manager and chief pilot for a drone light show company called Starflight Drone Shows. We currently have a fleet of 75 drones that we fly. And I design some of the shows. We have another designer that designs some of the shows. He does a lot of the 3D stuff. I'll do the 2D stuff. And we go out to people's parties or special events and we'll customize a show to kind of fit the parameters of what they're looking to have put up in the sky.
Hell do you have that many battery chargers? That's all I'm wondering.
I know, right? Wow.
It's done in banks. We have banks that do 10 batteries at a shot. So it takes a little while. It's a full day's job to charge up the fleet for sure. Because you figure we have at least 2 batteries for every drone that we own. So it's a lot of batteries. Yeah.
Is this something that you could do maybe for like a flying that we go to? You could do something at night since we can't fly at night?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's something we could do.
Excellent. That sounds like a plan. So yeah, we want to get you back on so you can talk
Mhm.
more about.
You know, there is a flying coming up in June, Will. Just
Flying
saying.
coming up in June. That's right.
There you go.
Make
You
sure
could
to-
have a drone light show, man. Get some more people.
Let me know. I'd love to book it.
There's an
Yeah,
idea.
cool. That would be totally cool.
I'm down. Hey, if I can fly during the day and then come down and do a drone show for everybody, I think that would be fantastic. That's my jam right there.
There you go.
I have never seen that ever.
Can I tell you a little secret?
Yeah.
Up until I started doing this, I had never seen a drone show in person.
Really?
And to this day, I still have not seen one that I've been able to enjoy because I'm always, my face is in the computer the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh.
I watched the one in Stone Mountain, Georgia, and it was kind of funny. It was like when they were first starting to do this stuff, and you could see the couple of drones that I guess went out of battery power and they just kind of went off into the distance.
Yeah.
It was pretty funny to watch. It was great though. It is something to see for sure.
I've seen them on the internet. I watched them and they are just absolutely fantastic. I can't imagine watching it out there in real life. It's like I've seen the Northern Lights on TV,
Mhm.
but I've never seen them in real life. I can't imagine what they really look like. It's almost like watching paramotor videos.
Right.
But until you go up there and look around, the videos do absolutely nothing for what you actually feel, see, and experience
Absolutely.
up there. Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's the biggest rush for me. It sounds so cheesy, being a professional pilot, but getting that first drone off the ground, because my first flight was with one drone. And then I got it up to 2, and then we did 6, and that was just such a rush because it was all starting to come together. It took me, after we got the drones, it took us 6 months to get them. But it took me another about 3 weeks to actually get the entire fleet off the ground
Wow.
How
of
big are you?
75. The ones that we fly are, they're about the size of a Mavic Mini.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're tiny. The reason that we got these is because you can fit 10 in a case. So when you start getting into the hundreds of drones or even the thousands of drones, you're dealing with a much smaller number of cases, and it's because of the size, they're just much easier to transport.
That makes sense. I couldn't imagine doing 1,000 drones to hang.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the day to get 1,000 of them off the ground. It's going to be a huge jump, but I'm looking forward to it.
Wow.
Well, I have not even seen it on TV or online. I've never even heard of it. So I'm gonna wait.
So Will, do me a favor, when we're done, go onto YouTube and look up Philadelphia Eagles drone show. It
Oh, I gotta write
happened
this down.
it happened last weekend. It was done by a company called Verge Aero. They're actually one of the originators of drone shows.
Okay.
And they
V-
did a
is that-
phenomenal job.
Is that VERGAERO? Or
It
is
sounds
it
right, yeah.
Or is it arrow like a arrow?
No, it's AERO.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're a company that's based out of Philadelphia, I believe, and they've done a few shows. They did one during COVID, which really skyrocketed them into popularity, and that's when people really started going nuts for them. So, but yeah, right now all of my drones are down in Florida with the boss man. So I've got right now I'm just out selling and trying to book shows. So if you guys want a show, let me know. I'd be happy to book it and come out and do it for you.
Wow, cool. So you could come
curious.
out for my birthday.
Curious.
Yeah.
What?
Start doing it like at off of Lake Michigan, and yeah. Here you go, Linda.
Curious on about, what do your packages cost to have someone come out? I mean, is it per minute that you do it, per drone, or how does that work as far as booking?
It's broken down. We've broken it down into to try and simplify it for people because different companies price things different ways.
Right.
We've broken it down into two simple packages, a 50 drone show or a 75 drone show.
Oh.
And they range anywhere from 10 to 15,000.
Okay.
So, and we can customize them. We can do 3D animation, 3D graphics, we can do all sorts of cool stuff. The designer that I'm working with, the man is amazing with all of the ideas that he's been coming up with. So because of the limited number that we have to be very creative in how we do things. It's very much part of the process is finding creative ways around the limitations that we're dealing with. So it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, sure.
So Linda, rebook him.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm typing everything in right now.
All right.
I'll try and get some video to you guys so that we can share it when I do the podcast for sure.
Oh yeah, please do.
Absolutely. And how long do the shows usually last? Is it like a 5-minute show, a 30-minute show, an hour show? What is that usually?
Well, it depends on it depends on the gig that we're booking. For like right now we've got wedding packages. The wedding packages are about 8 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes. A full show will be between 10, 12, 15 minutes. We max out at about 15 minutes simply because of battery life. The drones can fly for upwards of 20 minutes. But when you start having them flying around and moving, it eats up a lot more battery. So
plus the
that's
lights
stuff that yeah, it's there's a lot of things that you have to calculate and figure out.
That's really interesting. That'll be a really good podcast. Well, thank you again, Ryan. We definitely appreciate you. We also got
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. Just come back anytime.
Yeah.
I will be back
definitely.
next week. You've got one of my
Okay.
my heroes coming on next week.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
Mike Potter. Yes.
Good. I figured that
Yeah.
you would.
That's gonna be a fun show. That's gonna be fun.
All right.
We also got Will Fly from Will Fly PPG. He also does amazing videos on his channel. So tell us about your channel and tell us about the podcast that goes on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, so you can find me on YouTube. Just search for Will Fly or willflyppg.com. I'll take you to the same place. Just released Just the Tip 6.0 and 7.0 is going to be out next week sometime. I keep saying next week, but these things take time. So
hey, also too, real quick, to remind you, when you do these videos, can you post them in our guest chat?
oh yeah, sure.
Post a link, because I sometimes don't get to search around YouTube and go to all my favorite places anymore because I'm training or I just don't have time anymore.
I get it, man.
Post that.
You either create videos or you watch videos, but it's very hard to do both. I mean, it's just hard. But so yeah, you can check that out. Also tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, we do a show called Paramotor Hangout with Shane and Mark McElroy and myself. Get together, we talk paramotors or whatever else comes up. Just kind of sitting around a campfire like you're at a fly-in and just shooting the breeze. You can find that at ppgshane.com. That'll take you right there.
Excellent.
Shaney.
Excellent. And of course, Linda Anderson, our PR girl, the person that you need to talk to if you want to be on the show. Actually,
Yes.
Ryan, how do you get up with Linda? You go to paramomusa.com. It forwards over to her Facebook page. You just PM her, say, yo, I want to be on PPG Grandpa's Paramotor podcast, and she'll hook you up. She also got a famous son that does another podcast on Thursday nights. Linda, take it away.
Oh, yes. Robert Michaels does a show on Thursday nights, paraglidingtalk.com. So I'm like the PR of his show because the Paramom's work is never done, So I kind of help him out, and he's real funny. I'll say, I promise if you let me jump on the Zoom, I'll be good. And he knows me better than that, because most of the time, most of the time he's like, all right, Mom, I gotta mute you. You're out of control. So, but I just have to give a shout out to my chatters. Thank you so much for hanging with us tonight on the show. And I so much appreciate all of you. And I'm looking forward to next week, just calling out all the names and saying hi to everybody. I
Yeah,
think that'd be really,
your job now is to shake pom-poms and shout out names.
and say, do
speaking-
shout outs. That's right.
Speaking about
Yeah.
shouting out,
Nope.
Tony Marzano, I think it was Tony Marzano. Tony Marzano, you're the one that does the trikes or the oh shoot, what was it? The tandems. I think that we tried to get up with you for that guy that has the end of life, that has cancer, and he's just a little bit too heavy. So shout out to Tony for trying to help us out. We definitely appreciate you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right,
Cool.
guys, we appreciate you. Thank you so much, Will and Scuba Steve, Ryan, Paramom, Linda Anderson, Brooke Sheffield, Doug. Thank you, you guys, and everybody else that's been listening. I don't have the list of everybody, but we appreciate you guys. Don't forget, if you want to be randomly chosen to win something, just go over to paramotorarkansas.com, make a free account, and don't forget your mailing address, because if you don't have a mailing address, I can't send nothing out to you. So
Yeah.
we'll see you guys tomorrow at PPG Shane, Wednesday at Paramotor Girl, on Thursday over at Paragliding Talk.
Just want to fly. Gotta say, just want to fly
For what?
on Wednesdays.
Wednesday, still paramotorgirl.com.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay. But I always just think of just want to fly,
Yeah,
so-
she doesn't have a justwantafly.com, so I
Yeah.
can't really do that yet. So I still want to get people to go.
Oh, okay.
And then
gotcha.
over Thursday, you got paraglidingtalk.com.
.com.
And
That's
then
right.
on Friday, Scuba Steve, on Friday,
There we go. Let me unmute. On Friday, it's Scuba's Hangout, which has been Scuba's Hangout for God knows how long. 8 to 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Just go to paramotordude.com. That'll take you straight over to the channel. There you go.
paramotordude.com. All
Paramotor
right, guys, thank you so much again. I can't believe that we talked for almost 2.5
2 hours.
2.5 hours.
This was fun.
Unbelievable. You guys are
Totally
amazing.
fun.
And next week, who do we have, Linda Anderson?
We have Mike Cotter to be our guest. I
That's-
know, he's such a busy guy too. And I was so excited, I asked to be on the show because see now, I'm a Michigander and he's a Michigander kind of thing. I was like, yeah, it's pretty, I just thought it'd be super fun to get him on there.
Don't
So
you
I'm
wish you was
really-
a Michigander too?
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. There you go.
Sounds good. Well, you all fly safe, and we'll see you next week on PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast, ClearPropTV, paratalk.org. Peace
Bye.
out, my friends.
See you guys.
We're going to kill the live stream, and now we got the audio stream. So here's what we do, right? We always get that code for the audio stream. What do we want to use for the code for the winner for next week? Like we had the pig name, right? And Bonnie got it. So what are we going to do?
Didn't
Do we
the
have-
audio stream cut off at 120 minutes?
That was our audio, but this is the one that we're going to put on our,
Oh,
we're going to upload
Gotcha.
this to later on.
gotcha.
Right. So if you're listening, yeah. So the audio stream doesn't play like, in sequence. This will be the next one that people will listen to on our audio. So what do we want to do as far as a code? Anything that we talked about tonight? Anything that you guys just want to talk about? Maybe, something that you have, something that you, maybe your name, maybe just say, hey, Will Fly is the thing. Maybe Ryan Rides is it, Scuba Steve. I mean, whatever you guys want to do. I mean, pick something. And I mean, we're still doing the audio, so people are listening.
Dang, that's a tough one.
It can be anything. I mean,
Barf bag. I'm just,
Oh, yes.
there we go.
Yes.
Barf bag.
Yes.
Barf- excellent. Barf bag.
I come up with the weirdest crap. I swear.
All right. So
Seriously, that was hilarious
Steve.
when Jeremy asked that question, and then I can't remember who said, I can't remember who responded, but yeah, if you just do a bunch of acro, your passenger will provide the treat. That was hilarious, man.
unbelievable.
That was
So
awesome.
barf bag is our code. So if you guys are still listening to this and you listen to our show live on Monday nights, barf bag will win whatever we're putting out there, which will probably be either a travel mug or a chase cam, or I don't know what else can we give away. Oh, the foot mount GoPro thing.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
speaking of 3D printing,
Yeah,
I don't know if you'll be able to see this.
kind of see it. What is that?
I printed up a mount for my spars so I can mount up a strobe on the top of my cage.
Amazing.
Oh, that's not a bad idea, Mike. I
And
got
I
a
used-
guardian angel in mine.
That's what I
fell off.
use.
Oh,
That's exactly
okay.
what I use. So what I do is there's a rubber magnetic mount that you can buy,
Right.
and I bolt it in here. And then it just snaps on.
That-
Oh, did you bolt like just a metal washer that way it just snaps onto it? Oh, okay,
No,
cool.
there's actually a magnet, a rubberized magnet that you can buy on the Guardian Angel site.
Oh, mine came with that magnet. That's weird. Yeah, I already got the magnet.
John
Just-
Wayne,
Well,
when he's here, he gave me a guardian angel.
What?
Yeah,
They are awesome strobes.
Yes, they are.
They are
It is
amazing
nice
for
strobe.
PPG, man. They're worth every penny. And this thing, I ended up picking this up off of Thingiverse. And
oh no shit,
I'm-
that's from Thingiverse.
I got
I modified it. I modified it so that it fits on the rider frame.
Nice.
That's exactly. I have a writer. I need
That's what
that.
that's
need
what I
that
just
G
picked up.
code.
I picked up Shane Mooney's
Kyle?
rider.
Oh, okay.
Kyle Mooney.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I bought his rider. He had a custom one made with a black
If you have
frame.
that G code,
white.
or if you have it on Thingiverse or something, let me know. That way I can, because I got a 3D printer downstairs. I can.
Oh, you
print that
do?
off. Yeah.
What I
Okay.
can do is I can drop the file.
There you go.
I'll drop the STL. I don't know. Can we put STL files on the
In
on
the chat.
Facebook Messenger?
Maybe.
If you zip it, probably. If not,
Okay.
you can always Dropbox them.
Yeah, I can do that. I can throw it on my Google Drive and I'll send you guys. I'll drop the link in the chat.
Yeah, you
Okay,
want
cool.
you want the STL file because depending
Yeah.
on what printer you use, that G code.
Yeah.
That GK would may not work, so the
Right.
STL file is the one that you want. You want the rider one, right, Scuba?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I have the writer.
Yeah, I just printed up one for my
Mike.
rider that I modified so that it fits perfectly. This one will fit. I'm trying to remember which one it was made for.
It kind of looks like Power to Fly. Yeah, Power to Fly.
It'll work on just about any frame that has spars that don't touch.
Uh-huh.
I used this on my my mini plane.
It
Interesting.
went up
And
in
it worked.
price, but I got a link to the one I bought. I got my Guardian Angel off Amazon. I think when I got it, it was $49, but now it's 60.
They're over the one
Yeah.
that I just bought was over 100.
The one that I
That's-
just got was free.
The-
What, did you
Amazon
get-
is
was it a
way
mini
cheaper.
that he gave you, Sean?
Oh, what's that?
Was it a mini or was it the regular one?
It was the mini.
Oh, see, I got the big ones.
Yeah,
Uh,
me too.
I
Well,
paid
That's probably why.
Yeah, well,
$52.99. That's
there
what I
you-
got.
So the one that you just posted right here, that's the big one, Scuba.
I don't know. I don't know.
It
what
looks like
size.
it looks like it's the small one. It looks like it's the mini. Well,
That is no, that's the full size one.
is
yeah.
it?
Oh wait, no, hang
no,
on.
it's the mini because look at the top of it.
Oh, you're right.
looks-
It is the mini.
Yeah, that looks
Oh,
like
wait.
mine.
That's not what I got. Why the hell? Mine does not look like that. Mine has a lot more buttons than that.
And that's probably the maxi pad and not the mini pad.
That's the one that I use. I like the big one.
The one I bought was $52.99 and it had more buttons than that. I don't know why they changed it. That's why when I saw it on Amazon, I was like, oh, buy now, because I know most of the time they're over $100. And I was like, well, hell, let me get it while
They
it's cheap.
just had
wrap
a
it up.
sale, buy one, get one free.
Oh, damn, I missed that.
Where? When now?
Well, I just not too long ago, I got an email from them. Buy one, you buy the regular one, you get a mini free.
Oh,
Well,
huh.
shoot.
But those
if
things
you-
last so long that, I mean, I don't need another one.
If you see those deals pop up again, can you text me and let me know? Because I mean, the mini is great, but I think that it only says that you have a 2 mile, 2 miles on the mini, but you have 4 miles on the maxi.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's not maxi, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that one, the one they're showing on there has a green light. Mine does not have a green light. It's just red and white. I
They
don't
have-
know.
They have different.
Mine doesn't have a
Yes.
green light either.
No,
no,
Uh,
it should only have one. It should have white and then a red utility light in the middle.
That's what I got. I don't know what they got on there now because I went to my last order, but it shows a different model than what I got. So they must
So
have changed.
they have the okay. So I went to their site and they have different colors too. So you can do
Yeah.
the red and blue. You can do the white and this, or the white and white.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking about getting a red and green one. And
Red-
instead of
yeah.
lining it this way, I was gonna turn it this way so that you had the port and starboard.
Starboard, there you go.
Yep,
They seem to be really light enough. You could probably put them up in your wing.
probably.
I mean, right where that wing cam would be, because that wing cam is a lot heavier than this.
Right.
So I could easily put that up in my wing.
That
I'm gonna have to-
that magnet's pretty strong. I mean, the only reason mine came off was because my cage bumped the ground. So it kind of, I had it on the top of the cage on some
Tether.
Velcros. So as soon as
Tether.
it hit, a tether. Yeah.
Yeah, I created a tether. I took, those, the clips, not the clip, not an alligator clip,
Well, that's
the
it.
buckle clips with the little string.
Hmm.
I took one end and I tied it to the spar. And then I tied the others to the guardian angel. And every time I take it off, I just unclip it and I've got it set so that no matter what happens, I actually put the tether around the netting so that even if it comes off, if the guardian angel slips off and flies towards the propeller, it can't reach it.
Yeah, I broke a prop for having a strobe.
Strobe.
Yeah.
It took
So
me
the
a while
co-
to find both them damn pieces too.
So
when
the
it flew off.
code is thank you.
Yeah, that's with I got that back in December 15. I thought they sent me one that they extended it.
Okay.
I can't
Huh.
find that.
I'll just have to go to Guardian Angel and check that out.
Well, it could be because I'm a dealer too.
Ah,
You're a
That's
Guardian Angel
special.
dealer?
Yeah, man.
if
I
I had
didn't
known
know
that,
I never sell anything ever. I
How'd
dude,
just-
if I had known that, I would have reached out to you earlier this week instead of buying
Dang,
it
and I
through.
could have retired. Dang. I could have retired.
I didn't know that you're a dealer. How'd you become a dealer for that?
I just put in the application and they approved it.
My first one, actually, sorry, Sean, my first guardian angel was free because I reached out to the company and I wanted to do a demo on it. And
Uh-huh.
they just sent one to me for free with a bunch of accessories.
I see the difference now. The micro only has like 3 lights on the front. Yeah, they must have sent me the wrong one. They sent me the big one.
Yeah, I think
apparently.
it was when they first started, and I don't know if they still do this, but when I got my guardian angel, they sent me a thing. Hey, if you leave a review, we'll send you a free guardian angel.
Huh.
What?
Yeah, which I didn't do because I'm lazy. So I don't know if they still do that or not.
Huh.
I probably don't need it because word of mouth, and it's really a good piece of equipment.
Good product for sure.
Yes, it is. It's
They're really-
top-quality.
I was very impressed when I got mine at how solid it feels in your hand. Usually you can
Yeah.
tell when it's cheap plastic,
Yeah.
This thing is solid.
The Mini is solid. It feels
Yeah.
like it has some weight to it, like it's, you know, it's not going to break.
So I would,
Better not lose mine, because if I have to buy another one, it's $110.
I put
You know
it
how
on-
much you have to pay for, what's that one, Sean? It was real expensive. The strobe system. I can't remember.
The PPG smoke strobe system,
I don't know if it was that one or
Hunter strobes.
it was like a tube. It was like in a tube.
oh, that's
Oh.
actually what this thing is for. That's what this is designed for, is it's
Oh.
the flare.
The flare, yeah.
Flare.
The
I
flare.
had the flare and man, I had problems with it, you know, and it's like,
Did
no
you?
problem. Yeah, I did. And
Huh.
so that's why I got the Guardian Angel. It's like, man, I mean, it's $100 and it's still going strong. When
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
put
don't forget to put that file in the chat, Ryan, please.
I will.
That-
I'll definitely get that for you.
Appreciate that. Yeah, because I've been struggling trying to figure out how to mount that where it won't fly off my paramotor. That work.
What's great about this mount is it takes 4 zip ties. And
Yeah.
that's it. It
I
won't
got zip
slide up or
ties.
down. It won't slide up or down. It won't move. It's
If
If
great.
you own a paramotor, you probably own zip ties. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You gotta have those.
That is so true. I've bought so many containers with different sizes of zip ties. I won't have to buy zip ties ever again in my entire life. I have so many, it's ridiculous.
Hey, I had a question. When actually, Linda, you're on. We were supposed
Yes.
we were
Yeah.
supposed to have
I
we
had
were
to
supposed
take
to
my,
have Greg.
I had to take my screen down because Missy here was tacking it. And I was like,
Oh.
this thing is gonna go down. So that's
That's
why I
why
left.
we're still on our audio. No one's looking at you. It's all right.
At least-
When did
Yes.
you when did you have Greg Anthony Harris scheduled?
Oh, when did I? Oh, that was like about a month ago, I think. But he's not gonna do it right now.
Okay.
Yeah, for personal reasons, that's all.
And
Yeah,
Okay.
since we kind of, chilled out on our talk, let's go ahead and kill the
Yes.
audio stream.
Yes.
You guys remember, if you're still listening to us, thank you very much. We appreciate you. Thank you for listening
Thank
to PPG
you.
Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast. And our code for next week on the live stream is
barf.
Barf bag.
Bag.
all right. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one.
oh, I gotta write that down. God.